Don't really know too much about him, as you mentioned. He did have some problems with a false vac ban, but that's been removed, and he's getting a chance on Big now, so let's see what he's going to actually be able to show. Let's go into the pistol round now. CT side are just going to be gone for all Kevlar. No defuse kit purchased up, and let's see what Big decide to go for. Looks like right now they are going to be making their way over towards A. We're mostly in towards main, but Aiken coming from door, as it looks like we may see a bit of a faster round by the T side. Only Forlin on the bomb site, I believe that is. He has support from Truck though. It will be mostly just a retake setup other than that one player. And with a smoke available now in the hands of Gobby, they should be able to actually isolate Forlin on the bomb site.
Yeah, PHR is holding from Truck. As you were saying, the smoke will come in. However, oh, PHR gets that kill through the smoke. The push is still coming forwards. Icon trying to do some damage, and he does take that headshot on towards Furlan. So PHR now is going to have to try and deny the bomb plant, and he will be able to. No cover for God B. He goes down. In the meantime, Lucka eventually gets the trade, so it's back to a 3v3. But things have been delayed by that bomb plant being denied. However, now it will go down.
Yeah, and as mentioned before, no defuse kit available for the CT side, so they won't have a lot of time to try and just find these picks. They'll have to get moving in, and so far the Glocks are going to be coming out victorious. Looker and Next take one each, and Next will also be able to claim himself another as he closes that one out on the toe. So it will be big to get themselves that opening pistol round. AGO, they are looking to, most likely going to be going for the force fire, I would presume, into this one. So still, AGO should still have to try and actually withstand the pistols. We've seen a couple times today, actually, the pistols coming out on top on those force round buys, so those force buy rounds. So it'll be interesting to see if they are going to be able to get anything done. They keep at least some economy onto Snatchy for the op, and Furlan only goes for the Deagle, it seems. But a fairly safe buy coming in by AGO, we should see them being able to clean this one up.
Is it just me, or are the names swapped at the top of the screen?
Yeah, they are. Bigger now, okay. Polish. Oh, they're swapping back as you're saying that, actually, so it's getting fixed. Just the flags need to be fixed now.
Am I magic? Did I cause this? I think I'm a magic man. Either way, not too much going on at the start of the round. Looks like with a couple of SMGs, they're just gonna hold fairly patiently. Icon could be in danger. If he was to go down, the AK might be lost without chances to be able to sort of steal it away. And there we go. PHR gets that opening kill. The AK will be recovered by Grubby, and now maybe a chance for Ago.
Yeah, Grubby aggressive with the AK, able to take down Looker. And now Big, with only 3 players remain in this round, beginning to fall apart. They're going to be forced into this A commitment, where once again the AK is going to be in position to try and hold it down. A gap in the smoke allows PHR to get a double kill. Now it's going to be all onto Tabson to try and clutch this one out, and PHR steps it up yet again. Finds a quick headshot on towards Tabson. What a round coming in by PHR right there. Currently 6-1 on the scoreboard for his team after 2 rounds, and now Big losing that round, likely going to be going for a force buy into this one, unless they want to go for a double eco, because averaging just about 1400, 1500, you can see the decision is to indeed invest into this one. Looker keeps money to make sure he can get the op out eventually, but the rest of his teammates, they invest everything. 2 Deagles, 2 P250s, Kevlar onto 4 of those players, and a very small amount of utility for Gobby to work with.
Yeah, and Tau does a lot of damage towards Tabson, down to 10 HP. Tabson goes for the re-aggression. I think he was trying to play a little bit of a headshot angle there, but it didn't quite come through. Nade over the top from Furlan also does some damage. Icon taken down to 60 HP. He's going to try and also take this exact same angle. However, he's not going to be able to connect. So a man advantage for Ago early on. They do have full rifles, remember, so if Big got 1 or 2 frags, then that would do a fair amount of damage to the Ago's side. And you can see Grubby is trying to tap away, not really going to find anything though. Meanwhile, Big with the bomb, currently leaning over towards B. Oof. Okay, yep. I didn't think anything was going to happen, but yep, Grubby just taps off Icon's head. Not too bad though.
Yeah, nice find there to put that advantage heavily now in favour of the CT side, and Snatchy even drops the bomb, lines them up towards the headshot position, only gets 1. Ruby coming in from CT spawn will be able to shut that down, and AGO get themselves the 2nd round, and after the force buy now, Big won't have the money to buy into this one, likely just going to be a full eco. Looker obviously going to be saving towards the AWP, he does already have 3500, so he should have that in the following round, but for this one, only a P250 I believe for Next to work with.
I have got the 1 flashbang. I do like that. It's also, I think, worth mentioning how this veto went, because generally in the past, Big don't necessarily pick cash all that often. I think they've mainly just gone for it because of the fact that they want to, they have those standards, so they want to pick a more scrimmy map, but oh, Tabson doing damage with the Glock. Furlan also down to 4 HP. That Molotov will slow things down, but Aiken, Oh, he will fall. That was the AK dropped. And in the meantime, PHR pushes through for the flank. He's going to spot the bomb. So for a second there, it was looking dangerous. And a couple more dinks come through, but they only lead to a single frag.
Yeah, good round by AGO to just shut that down. Not really losing too much in that one as now Big. They do get the buyout as mentioned. The utility, not really perfect, but they have the op, they have the 4 rifles, and actually AGO also going to have a very similar setup but with more utility. It's actually going to be on the AWP. PHR so far having a great game. Going to have that AK to continue on with. As now Big, let's see what they're going to try and actually go for coming into this round. They're going to try and get done, as it looks like right now they are just going to be splitting up for a default, just separating around the map, waiting to see if they can try and find any opening picks. And you can see right now Gobby, he may peek straight out into the crosshair of Snatchy, and he will indeed be taken down, as now AGO claiming a one-man advantage. Big in a 4-on-5. Let's see what they try to do to bring this round back in their favor.
Yeah, as I was kind of suggesting earlier, I was expecting Lucka to be picking up the AWP. It looks like that will be the case. Icon is certainly also capable with that weapon. I think he played it fairly often when he was standing in for Seed. So that could come through if they need 2 AWPs. But for the time being, of course, on the T side, generally you just stick with the 1. And Lucka will be happy to do so. Having said that, Push is going to come in towards mid with the AKs. Icon fairly confident in making his way forwards. He doesn't have the most support. And I think Tao spotted him out over the top of the smoke with the jump peak, but couldn't quite line up the spray. So Aiken, by the looks of things, will be going in first. Having said that, the bomb's going to go back towards B. And Tabson gets a quick kill. Snatchy caught off guard. The rotation, though, is so heavy on the B side. 3 players here. And Grubby gets 3 kills. He just goes absolutely huge on the B hold. And that's why that quick rotate makes a big difference, because Nex is now the only man left.
Yeah, just a great round there by Groovy. Shuts that down big after getting themselves into a solid position. Tabson done a great job to take down Snatchy and towards Checkers, and just no smoke being down allows for Groovy to have so much room to work with. He shuts down 3 players and just shuts down the push from Big. As now, once again, it will be an eco. Finally building up some money bonus the following round. They will get $3,400, so they're able to put at least some form of investment into this round, but only pistols and Kevlar to work with, and also 1 smoke for Gobby. Right now, their main goal, I'd guess, is try and get a few kills out of this one, try and get the bomb plant if possible. And looks like they may favour towards the A-bomb site, which could be the correct decision. We see right now Furlan playing back from CT wall, probably playing from highway. Seems like they are going to have at least a bit of a retake setup for the moment, but Big now actually boosting up onto the middle position. May look to try and get the control towards this part of the map rather instead.
Well, it looks as though Big do want to take those fights towards mid. A couple of CZs. It's not going to be easy to win at long range, and there we go. Tao spots them out, but he doesn't know exactly the weaponry they have, so he doesn't necessarily want to take the fight. However, now with the assistance of Grubby and the flashbang, he is going to get a couple of kills. Bomb has made its way onto the A site, though, and it looks like Gobby might get that one down. Indeed, he does. So the bomb plant, at the very least, for Big. They won't be too disappointed with that. A little bit of extra cash. However, having said that, they are now going to go 5-1 down, so they do need to start winning some rounds here.
Yeah, after taking that pistol, just going down 5-1, not a great start into this game. AGO getting themselves some momentum. And the problem for Big is they're bringing in 2 new players, likely not really going to be so prepared on this map, and with the default not really working, they probably don't have a lot to fall back on. So we need to see some of the players from Big beginning to step it up and being able to actually find these opening kills. As Looker, he will once again get that AWP out. We've yet to really see him get a chance to do much with it. This would be a great round to step it up, as Snatchy is actually just going to be working with the rifle, so we'll actually have another offer to face off against. As right now, Big, once again, they seem to be just continuing on with this default. No presence really towards mid, 2 over towards B main, and 3 on the A side of the map, with one of those being indoors. Look at this by Furlan, going so aggressive. Just spot out the head of Nex, and there you go. Gets the first, knows the position of Tabson, spams away. Will eventually find that kill. And that's really good work by Furlan there to put the round heavily in favour of AGO. Will at least be returned, but still Big, down by 1 man.
Ooh, Aiken, though, opens up the A site very quickly. I'm surprised he could get 2 kills out through Squeaky there, but it happens! And Aiken gets a 3rd. Huge play from him, and Lucka also chimes in with a frag. The 2 stand-ins making everything happen for Big, and that is a promising sign for them. Lucka is going to miss that 2nd shot, but the round realistically is already won. Having said that, maybe not just yet, because PHR gets 1 more frag back. I don't think he has the time to pull this one off, though. He is going to come over towards Truck, try to see if he can get something going. But considering Big are playing passively, I don't see a chance for him here. He's going to try and push the site. PHR, though, will have been heard. Easy kill for Gob B, and Big get their second on the board.
Yeah, just amazing work by Aiken. They're coming out of the door, realizing that nothing was going in their favor as they lost 2 kills in A main. Realized he had to make a play. He had to try and get something done for his team to work with, and he ends up picking 3 quick headshots up. So great work by Aiken. Has been able to show some of what he possesses already. As now Big get themselves a second round, but they have to try and avoid the reset now. They don't have a lot of economy left in the bank, and once again AGO, they are able to get their buyout. They get the op, they get all the rifles, and Big seems like they will be once again just continuing on with this default, not really making too much of a change. Gobby being one of those tactical IGLs who perhaps likes to just play similar to what we've seen from Navi in the previous game. Just go for those defaults, slowly take control, try and work those picks, and make the late round decision about where to take it. As I like this boost by Tabson. He's boosted up, maybe able to spot someone out, but as he drops down, the timing doesn't really work in his favour. Luckily enough, does still get at least 1 kill before falling, and Looker with the AWP takes down Snatchy. Great work right now by Big as they claim themselves a one-man advantage, and Furlan on the A bomb site is under a lot of pressure, but he will be able to actually keep himself cool and calm as he takes down Aiken. Back into a 3-on-3 now. Big, where will they decide? Oh my god, Aiken burns alive. There was another Molotov in towards squad that he did not realise he burns to death, and that is now going to be Big reclaiming that man advantage for themselves.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say. He just walked into the flames. They've been down for a while. Nonetheless, the Big offense is coming in towards the B bomb site. So PHR might have a chance to hold it off. And Nex, will he clear this corner? Yes, he will, but Tau wins the fight. Back to a 2-on-2, and PHR is going to get 1 free frag. Lucker misses the trade. He needed that kill, and it doesn't come through. So PHR shuts down the B push. And despite that mistake from Furlan, it doesn't cost Ago. They still managed to win the round and force Big back down to what will likely have to be an eco. I mean, even that doesn't feel great for them. They don't have that much losing bonus, but they will go for it anyway.
Yeah, actually, Nex and Gobby are going to be on a double eco, only having 2,500, or rather 1,500, apologies. They will be getting 1,900 in the following round, and on top of that, then they will be still a little bit low. They'll be able to get the rifles at least, but they'll definitely be lacking in terms of the utility, and may not even have that head armor. As right now, it is just going to be a default once again by Big. With the pistols, I don't know if this is really the correct decision, but then again, you have those deagles in the hands of 2 very dangerous players. The Tabson, we know what work he can get done, and Aiken been able to hit some nice headshots so far in this game, so let's see if they're going to be able to step it up. Let's see if they're going to be able to actually get anything done into this round for Big, but the question early on is, or rather the answer to that question early on is going to be no. So far, it is going to be 2 kills going in favour of AGO, and both of those being the players with Kevlar that fall.
Shouldn't be too much going on in this round. B just gets completely bodied out towards mid, and Tau will shut it all down. A 4K for him with that AK. And while we have a moment, I just quickly want to bring up the giveaway we have running here on eFrag. If you subscribe to us on Twitch, you will be entered and have a chance to win a Flip Knife Blue Steel Field Tested. That's going to be drawn on Sunday after the finals of this tournament. So if you want to enter that, make sure to subscribe on Twitch. And other than that, back into the action where Big, yet again, only have pistols.
Yeah, once again, a bit of Kevlar to try and back it up, but it's still not really ideal. And look at this by AGO, they're going to be making a bit of an adaptation. They go for that boost, and that could maybe catch Big off guard. They are just going to be pushed in towards A main, and I don't believe anyone's watching the flank. Furlan, he also goes aggressive. He takes the attention away as he is going to be able to shut this down. Tau from behind now has his chance to pounce, and he will be able to capitalise on that with a double kill. As now Aiken, once again, the last man standing. We've seen him previously coming out of door with a rifle, finding a triple kill. Let's see if he can step it up once again. This time he gets the first and is able to at least retrieve himself that rifle, but he doesn't find anything else as PHR does end up shutting it down. And Big, all they get out of that round is 2 kills.
And remember, guys, this is Big's map pick. I was kind of saying earlier, I think this was not such a bad pick from Big. On paper, they don't play this map too often. However, they have the 2 stand-ins. It's quite an open map. It should be much easier to play when you are missing 2 of your players. So I think that's fair enough. Well, I say missing 2 of your players when they've dropped 2 of their players. So I don't mind the pick from Big, but right now it's just not working out for them. Only 2 rounds on their T side so far. And one of the rounds they won was mainly due to the stand-ins, so I think we really need to see Tabson and Nex step up. Nonetheless, Aiken spots the man, and Grubby gets caught with an incendiary out. Again, Aiken out towards Squeaky, making the damage happen, and he gives his team a man advantage.
Yeah, Aiken so far seems to be stepping it up for his side. Hasn't been enough up to this point. Let's see if this time the open advantage will be able to be capitalised on. And Aiken once again from Door, such a small position that he's really getting so much done from. Able to take down Tau. AGO really are going to be on the back foot. This A bomb site looks like it will be the destination for Big. As they will look to try and split up through Highway. Gobby takes himself one PHR, finds a single trade. But the flank from Nex will be enough to take him down and open up the bomb site as it's all onto Snatchy. He has also been spotted and he will be taken down as Nex hits himself a second headshot. And now Big getting themselves a third round onto the board finally. And actually, the money not amazing for AGO. We see a couple players up on about 11,000, so they will be able to get a buyout. They will be able to drop some weapons. But after this, their money should actually be fairly low. So Big, if they can chain 2 rounds together, maybe in a good position to start building up a pretty decent T-side.
Yeah, not too far gone just yet. AGO, though, do have the double AWP sports up. They are spread out into their default setup. Having said that, Snatchy with the AWP will continue towards B, and oh no! One of the AGO players has just dropped from the server. There has been some damage done. I don't know if that was before the player dropped, though, so I'm not sure exactly how this is going to play out. Either way, it looks like Big are happy to call for the stop. It was very early into the round, so fair play to Big. I'm happy that they decided to do that just in terms of fair play. And it looks like Snatchy is having the same issue he had in the pre-game, which caused that delay. So hopefully this isn't too long this time.
Yeah, it might actually be a little while. It usually takes about 15-20 minutes to fix that one, unless he has another account that he can just hop onto and join into the server, which then hopefully we would be able to get back into this one fast. But then it's all about trying to actually get him the correct amount of economy, etc. So it is going to be a difficult one to try and fix right now. As Big finally getting themselves some momentum, getting that fourth round there. Is that kind of going to affect them? Or do you think they will be able to just still keep it together and look to try and continue building up a decent T side? Or AGO, will they be able to once again reset the economy, which would be quite detrimental to Big?
Yeah, it's tough to know which side this cause benefits, really, because Big had only won 1 round before this. I don't think it will be massively important for either team, to be honest. It would just give them a little bit of a chance to slow things down and just sort of make sure they know exactly what they want to do. I kind of feel like it could help Big a little bit more if, in this time, Godby can just sort of think things through, make sure that the stand-ins know exactly what they have to do. So you would think it might be able to help Big a bit more, considering they have a couple of players not from their regular lineup. But yeah, nonetheless, I believe the scoreline was 8-3 before the pause came in. And I also think, as far as I remember, there wasn't that much money on either side. So it will be a very, very vital gun round coming up.
Yeah, certainly. Neither team working with a great economy, so they need to try and pick up a round and be able to actually bolster it up and get themselves something into the reserve. As right now, it is just still going to be the issue consistent. We don't have the player returning yet for AGO. Hopefully it will be fixed quite soon, as neither team probably wants to just be sitting around during a pause. They probably want to get right back into this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No one wants these technical issues. The players don't like them. The fans don't like them. We don't like them. I just want to see some good CS. But sometimes, I mean, that's the thing with CS. There's so many things that can go wrong. Like your mouse could break, your keyboard could break, the computer could break. You could get some random Valve authentication error. Just all kinds of things can go wrong. That's why sometimes you just can't help it.
But yeah, how do you think this is going anyway for Big early on? How overall do you think the scoreline is going to go? Do you think Big can get this fairly close? Do you think they'll actually be able to take this map? And overall, who do you think is going to be coming out on top of this series?
I think the worry for Big is probably the fact that Tabson has been a little quiet. When Big were having most of their success, it seemed like he was really leading the way for that. And I don't know if that's going to be happening. It does seem like Tabson has maybe cooled off a little bit from his form in the previous months. So I'm not exactly 100% sure where the win comes from for Big. I mean, Aiken has had a couple of really impactful rounds, but other than that, we haven't seen enough from them, I don't think. I mean, maybe if they can just go for a push as a team towards a site, that would make things easier for them. But I feel like AGO look pretty good so far for their lead. And considering, again, this is Big's map choice, I think they'll be quite happy with how things are going. They'll certainly be the happier of the two teams.
Yeah, certainly. We've just seen a lot of players stepping up so far for AGO. We saw Groovy have a nice few rounds, similar for PHR, and yeah, it's just been working out for them. In a good position, having, I believe, an 8-3 lead after this pause will be removed once the issues are resolved. So Big, having the buyout, of course, it's going to be an important gun round. If they take that one, they likely will be able to build up some momentum, get themselves up towards 5, maybe even 6. So, as you mentioned before, going to be a very crucial gun round, and I'm just hoping this issue will be resolved really soon. We're definitely running out of things to try and actually fill with.
All right, sorry about that. I think my internet died for a second there, but I believe I'm back. Can you hear me, Dean?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You did disconnect for a moment.
Okay, good. Yeah, my CS also stopped, but still waiting on the pause by the looks of things. No updates as of yet. If you have just joined us, Snatchy is having a bit of a technical problem. He was having that Valve authentication error, which was also plaguing him earlier on, which is why we started a little late. So it might take a little bit of time to overcome this. The scoreline was, as far as I remember, 8-3 in favor of Ago. We were about to head into a full gun round, so certainly could still go either way. But Ago, yeah, as you were saying, they've definitely been having the better time of things so far. And I think part of the reason why this lineup does so well is that they are quite evenly spread in terms of their skill. They aren't overly reliant on a single player. And I think that really does help them. They seem to mainly just spread the frags across the board. And that does mean that, you know, you can have one player step up on one map, then another player step up on a different map, and it just gives you a lot more options.
Oh yeah, AGO definitely have a lot of skill between all of their players. They're just a bunch of upcoming players from the Polish scene, and they've been having a lot of success lately, so it's looking to try and continue on maybe. Of course, Big coming into this with 2 stand-ins, it is going to maybe affect our overall performance, not being able to actually prepare the maps correctly, so that is going to be something that kind of puts them at a bit of a disadvantage, maybe not having the chemistry together either with these 2 new players, because Aiken and Looker, I believe, were only brought in within the last couple of days, so this is their first official game together.
Yeah, and I guess while we have a bit of time, we can discuss Big, because I think those roster moves show that they want to take the steps in the right direction. I think Legia was at the point where you probably had to make that change. I think you need a bit more firepower on the team when you have God B in the lineup as well. And I feel like they are quite close to being able to get a really competitive team. The main thing they're going to need is firstly Tabson to step up again. And then secondly, they would need some more firepower in the lineup, because I think God B's a really solid in-game leader, but I'm not sure where that firepower can come from. I think Icon has been playing well so far. We'll get to see if that helps them out. But in the long term, where do you think this Big lineup could go? Do you think they would have the pick of the litter from, for example, the Sprout team? Or would those Sprout players even question coming over to Big at this point?
I think maybe, yeah, a lot of those players do respect Dennis and Smitty, for example. They do definitely respect Gubby as a caller. But I believe it's been said by Big, I'm not sure if it was the manager when they were talking about the players that they were picking up, they said that if they were to take anyone from Sprout, it would only really be Dennis. They said that they would like to get Dennis, but I think he's happy enough over in Sprout at the moment. They've been having decent performances overall themselves, so...
Yeah, certainly. Pretty good showings from them. I think they've also, for the most part, been in good form, but it looks like this issue is still with us, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break and make sure to stick around to see how this series plays out. Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Farmskins Championship number 2. We are back into the action for Big against Ago, and Big have run straight through mid. Next already goes down early into the round, and Tao is going to get boosted up over this smoke. He's not going to get the pick just yet, but he may have the chance to do so. And indeed, Icon is caught off guard. So Ago straight back into the action with a 2-man lead.
Yeah, not a good round right now for Big. If they lose this one, they are going to get reset. They would still be able to scrape a bye together, but it's not ideal right now with the current scoreline. They wanted to start trying to chain some together and build this into a decent half, and it's looking less and less likely as the round goes on. Grooby's going to be able to take down Gobby. Tries to continue facing and actually does take down Looker in the process. Tabson only finding one before being dropped by the up of Snatchy. So AGO able to get themselves up to 9. Big probably will be buying into this one, or maybe even not, because Aiken on 3100, Gobby on 1850. The rest of the players, they can get a buyout, but they will be lacking in terms of utility.
Oh. Well, you don't want to see that, do you? We've got a pause coming in from Big this time around. We'll see what this is. Tabson typed TO in chat. I don't know what that means. Does that mean technical?
I don't know. I think it's something in... I don't know.
Is it German?
Timeout, maybe?
Yeah, just timeout?
Short for timeout, maybe? Yeah, well, I presume it's tactical at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they got to talk about their buy-in to this round. It's probably worth just going for the force. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of rough. Maybe one eco is better because you kind of do want to get the full buy on the 3 players that are around sort of $3,000 to $4,000. Yeah, it's a pretty rough spot to be in, especially when you're 9-3 behind.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really tough. I don't know whether they want to go for the buy or not. If they don't, then AGO going to be likely getting up towards double digits. If they do, if they're to lose that one, then they'll be forced onto an eco in the upcoming. So it looks like they will just go for a half investment, getting at least something to work with, making sure that they can cause some damage to the economy of AGO and maybe try and find that bomb plant and have some form of a chance to try to pick this round up for themselves. But it won't really be the buy, so we should see AGO having a fairly easy time. But then again, you can never underestimate the pistols in the hands of anyone. As a reminder, this is CSGO after all. We've seen what can be done with the CZs. A couple of Glocks also, as it looks to be a bit of a faster round now coming in by Big. They will just group up over towards A, looking to try and make their way out door and also out of A main with maybe one or so player as the execute is just being prepared. And right now with a retake setup coming in by the CT side, they should at least be the bomb plant going down. They should at least have that small success. Nice place Molotov there by Forlan. I don't think it's going to deny it, but it should at least do the damage and almost get the kill. Gobby down to 28, and now Big in a 4-on-5 after plant with very little utility, very little weaponry to work with. It should be around in favour of AGO, but they've at least found some form of success already getting that bomb down.
Yeah, the bomb plant for Big is certainly something. However, whether or not can compete here still is yet to be seen. It's not looking likely. 3 players left, although he does get 1 kill. Having said that, you can see the frags coming in favour of Ago, and the pistols come out for the final 2 frags. They sort out the defuse there. Snatchy has the kit, so he does have plenty of time to get Ago up to double digits. However, Big took the conservative approach to make sure they had as good a buy as possible into this round, and that does mean that Lucker will have the AWP alongside rifles for the rest of the team. But having said that, they already have conceded 10 rounds to Ago on their CT side. So to be honest, they're going to need at least 1 or 2 of these last 2 rounds in the half to at least have a decent amount of rounds on the board.
Yeah, certainly. They'd want to try and get these final 2, of course. Ideally, they want to get up to 5. That would currently be the best case scenario. As right now, AGO are looking very solid on the CT side. They've been doing a good job of just shutting this down. And then with Big finally back on the buy, let's see what they're going to be able to get done, as it doesn't seem like they're really going to be changing this too much from the previous gun rounds. Just continuing on with the default. Some presence over towards B, some players just working towards A main, and once again Aiken in the door, and this time he doesn't get anything done. Now with the op is able to win out that fight. I know AGO claim themselves a 1-man advantage, and Big once again on the back foot. Not looking so good for the German side, as they are going to be desperately trying to bring this back in their favour, and Forlan even going aggressive. Spots out Gobby and only gets a small amount of damage exchange before he realises he better just fall back off.
Ooh, and Gobby does come through Squeaky to get that trade back. I'm surprised to see Furlan be quite aggressive there, quite exposed as well out in the open. Having said that, the rotation has come in for Ago, so the Poles have 3 players stacked towards the A site. And with the flank coming in, that could be dangerous, but Tabson spots it out. Taking down PHR makes a big difference, and Next, in the smoke, only gets the 1 kill. However, he also does damage on towards Tao. Having said that, Big come back towards A where both CTs are, but they're just going to get picked apart. tabseN finds that second headshot. He's finally starting to find some form, and Big eventually will get their 4th round.
Yeah, if they get this 5th one, they're still in a pretty decent position, especially if they pick up the following pistol, then they're able to just slightly close that gap. They'll be in a pretty decent spot to try and build the comeback. But right now, AGO, of course, are still able to get the buyout into this one. They'll be, of course, looking to try and get themselves up to 11 and deny that 5th one for Big. Right now into this one, once again, are just going to continue on with a pretty standard round, it seems, but with a bit more presence towards A. We see the bomb immediately going into A main, along with 2 other players, and once again towards door, it is going to be Aiken. I guess just hoping maybe that Aiken can get something done from the door and be able to get that kill, maybe just try and commit straight onto the bomb site with the advantage. Seems to be at least the idea, as it's just actually Looker to lurk with this AWP, interesting enough. He was over towards B early on, looking to try and find an opening on the other side of the map. And once again, AGO, they're happy enough with just playing this retake setup. They haven't really been trying to hold the bomb site down itself. And so far, it has been working quite well. There's no Big. They do look to try and get a move on. Utility will delay them for the moment, but they finally will be able to start pushing forward. But no, halted once again, back towards A main. You can see the CT is now even pushing more forward. They're going to be in a really good position to try and hold this down.
I think it's quite surprising that they haven't pulled the trigger sooner on this push, especially considering they have no presence out towards B. They don't know if they have map control there. They don't know if AGO have pushed out. Nonetheless, Aiken spots the first player. Grubby is in towards Forklift. With the smoke going down, the nade should follow suit for the push. There goes Next, winning that first fight. The Incendiary has slowed them down, though. PHR is already going to be rotating over towards A. 32 seconds left, and Big are slowly but surely creeping their way up towards the site. Orlando gets 2 kills from Forklift, and PHR does get the trade back. That's the bomb drop down, and PHR gets another kill, makes it a 3rd. And AGO close out the half with style, thanks to PHR's 3K.
Yeah, I guess Big were trying to show their initial presence and then maybe make AGO think in the back of their head that they would be going back to B, just have Aiken making noise in door, and they're like, okay, he's been there every round, he might be just lurking, and it just didn't really work out. They got the opening kill, and then just Furlan steps in to put a double kill. Once he falls, PHR is going to be the hero of the round with 3, so in great performance. And PHR, you have to say, after at the end of the first half, he's currently 19-5. And his teammates aren't really looking too far behind either. No one's stepping it up too massively for Big either, which is another problem. They don't really have the firepower currently. But swapping onto the CT side now, if they pick up this pistol, they will be still in a decent position. If they lose that, they'll have very little room to work with.
Yeah, and a quick reminder that this is an IEM Katowice qualifier, so I'm sure AGO will be playing to the fullest of their abilities. Being a Polish team, I'm sure they would love to be able to play to that home crowd. Virtus.pro, when they played there in the past, have had a hell of a lot of support. So it would be fun to see another Polish team make it. They've got a long road ahead of them yet. This is only the quarterfinals of this qualifier. And into the second half pistol, Big going for 5 sets of Kevlar. So they can't really play for the retakes, but Looker does actually do a bit of damage on towards Grubby at the start. You can see Furlan with the P250. This has been gaining popularity recently. And he is going to get the kill at long range. That's the advantage of the P250. You can get the long range headshots. And there we go. AGO with an early man lead.
Yeah, no, it looks like they are just going to commit to A. 2 players on the bomb site. Furlan gets himself another kill, and Snatchy able to find one also as Tau. He flies in from above, takes down Next, and now the bomb site being fully under the control of the Polish side. All onto Looker in a 1 versus 5, and he has been spotted. The Glock not really working out at this range, but still only 1 kill coming in for Looker, left in a 1-on-4. It's going to be extremely difficult. He will be able to claim at least a few. Gets himself a second. Will be flanked out by Snatchy though, who's trying to be cautious, just waiting for that player to run into his crosshair, and he eventually finds it. So AGO get themselves a 12-4 lead, and I think something we also need to mention is AGO, they didn't actually even qualify for this playoffs. I believe Team Spirit dropped out and AGO were given that spot.
Yeah, that's something I was going to point out as well. If AGO do make it all the way to Katowice, that would be a pretty fun storyline. The fact that they didn't even win their group in this qualifier, but luckily for them, Spirit did pull out. I think because they've recently announced they're dropping Starix, so I assume they wanted to just make sure they had a full roster before they went into anything. Nonetheless, push coming up towards mid. PHR going to get the first kill. Mac-10 coming out on top. In the meantime, a couple of sprays coming in towards B, and the dink is landed. I don't know if it was a dink, actually, because Looker doesn't have a helmet, but nonetheless, he's down to 13 HP. Good damage early for AGO.
Yeah, kill on a heavy HP advantage is not something that AGO are going to be worried about. They're very happy with that. They're like, yeah, thank you for that. We will now go ahead and just capitalize onto this, and the best way to do so is just to group up and take over a bomb site together. They have decided to do so towards B. Snatchy with the Mach 10 opening it up. And Furlan drops Gobby also around the edge of that smoke. So next, going to be the last man standing. He was coming in on a fast flank, but his teammates don't actually get anything done to allow for this to actually work out for him, as he will be spotted after finding just one. And Furlan with a nice headshot there is going to be able to close that one out. So AGO up to 13. Big now should be on a full eco in this round, and we should see AGO getting themselves a 14 before Big even get the rifles back out. But while there is an eco coming in, I am going to go ahead and just remind all you guys that there is a giveaway being done on the channel. It is for subscribers. There is going to be a Flip Knife Blue Steel field test that's been given away on Sunday after the grand finals of the Farmskins Championship number 2. So if you want to get him a chance to win that, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. But now focusing on this Big, they are going to go for a bit of a gamble. They stack up towards middle. They do have one pop flash also to work with, and if that goes down, they aren't really going to get a chance to try and capitalize on it. We see just the players just in safety really. PHR with the Mach 10 just going to be building up some bank. Only finds 2 before eventually falling, but with How also taking down Gobby and Snatchy on the flank, it's not really going to be a big deal. AGO was a single player in that round, and now Big will get the rifles back out.
Yeah, here we go. For Big, this is pretty much now or never. They have got the AWP into the hands of Lucker. However, their utility is lacking, to say the least. Only a couple of smokes, really, alongside one flashbang and one HE grenade. So that doesn't exactly feel great for Big, but Ago trying to go through mid. Tao is just going to get mowed down by Aiken. The pre-nade also came through. A little bit surprising to see Ago take that risk, but they do have such a big lead that it shouldn't be a massive issue for them. Nonetheless, they just have to play from the 4v5 early on. And as you can see on the minimap, not much movement after the Poles lose that first pick.
Yeah, they're just going to be hanging back for the moment. There's no one over towards B currently. They have the bomb just left towards mid, and actually we see a player being able to creep out onto the white box position. It's actually Snatchy with the AWP, so let's see how this goes. And there we go, he actually finds the opening kill onto Tabston. Brings it back into a 4-on-4, but Aiken looking to try and find that trade. Will be able to do so successfully. It's bombing through the A-main smoke. Damage, it will be connected, and eventually the headshot will drop Furlan. Now on a 2-on-4, Groovy and PHR left to try and clutch this one out. Big, a very important gun round for them to get, and right now it's looking like they should be able to do so. They should also be trying to keep as many players alive as possible, but Gobby right now, let's spot out a couple players on mid. He used the face actually, and ends up falling now. Sacrifices that mid control to go in favour of AGO. And now, let's see where they decide to take this one eventually. Very little time left, and actually Looker in a very solid position towards B if we see them come back in this direction.
And considering how much Big have struggled so far, it seems like most of the times they're winning rounds, it's Aiken stepping up. So he's proving he's got some potential. Having said that, the push is going to come back around towards B, and Lucker does nail that first shot. So just PHR left. The Molotov comes in, but Lucker won't be hit by the flames, and that allows him to find a fairly easy second frag. So again, it's the two stand-ins stepping up for Big to win them a 5th round. While we have a bit of downtime here, I quickly want to thank the sponsors of this tournament, Farmskins. As you can see in the title, it's the Farmskins Championship number 2. So obviously they are the main sponsor for this qualifier. They've got a bunch of bonuses and offers over on their site. So if you want to go ahead and try them out, try and win some skins, you can check them out. And other than that, back into the action where Ago still have a bye.
Yeah, and it's actually still pretty solid. It's not really, I wouldn't say better than the big buy, but we see Gobby actually put down to the FAMAS. There's definitely more utility available for AGO, and it looks like they may be just trying to go for a bit of a faster paced round. We see a lot of their presence early on just being put over towards A. Only really one player hanging back, and I believe that was just Snatchy trying to work a pick on mid. And then he will look to try and join his teammates. And here we go, they're not even going to be making too much noise. They throw out the smoke, a couple of flashes, and just get moving. PHR opens that up with a great headshot onto Nex. And that's not how you want this to start as a big fan. It's Furlan able to take another. Aiken falls, and now it's not looking very good for the big side. Looking very bleak, as it is going to be Furlan. He wanted to take this fight, and he wins it out. Looker falls, and now Tabson and Gobby is the final two standing. Likely just going to have to look to try and save this one. Tabson does at least get that opening kill, and Gobby actually drops PHR. So a bit of a chance now perhaps given back in favour of Big. Still looking good for AGO though, especially as Groovy's able to push down and hunt Gobby. Take him down as now Tabson, he is indeed just going to finally try and save this one. So that is going to be a map point given over to AGO now. And into the following round, Big, they're not really going to have a great buy.
Tabson gets one exit kill with the AWP in play. It'd be nice to save this into the next round for Big to at least have something. But to be honest, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Big are already looking ahead to the second map. And that is going to be Train, Ago's map pick, which, as was kind of pointed out in the analyst desk earlier, that's a really solid map for Ago. So I don't know how much success Big are going to be able to have there. Nonetheless, we are going to keep going for cash for the time being. Lucka has the AWP in play without the Kevlar. The rest of the team buying what they can. And Lucka out towards B is going to get that opening frag. So there we go. Big get the man advantage early on yet again. And yet again, it's one of the stand-ins making the difference. He nearly gets the second kill, but Grubby just about manages to survive on 16 HP.
Yeah, nice damage being found there from Big. Looker with the opening kill and tagging down Grubby to 16. So good start into this round now for the German side, as it is going to be Aiken on Highway now that may be able to take this battle against PHR. Crucial one for him to win. He's going to be done to damage initially and eventually finishes off PHR, as now only 3 players remain for the Polish side. And Grubby still being one of those extremely low. It's going to get quite difficult. Big, I was going to say, should be able to get themselves this round, but Aiken, he's going to drop down to Furlan, who's able to find that open and pick towards the Highway position. And now in a 3-on-4. Let's see where AGO decide to eventually take this one. They still have just about a minute remaining. 53 seconds on the clock. Furlan making his position quite known. There is going to be also shooting, trying to bait out the shot from Gobby, who is going to fall. Interesting choice for Gobby to have the AWP, and it just doesn't work out now. The B-bomb site should be going under the control of the T side. But as I said, actually, I just realized the bomb is down on Highway, so that's a massive problem. Furlan, he needs to get this kill, and it's looking unlikely. Tabson, that one is handed to him indeed for free, as now it's all on to Grubby. 1-on-3, 16 points of HP. Very unlikely, especially with that bomb just being out of reach, really, is the only way to put it. He likely is just going to have to try and save this one again.
Well, there we go. Big haven't checked out of this game just yet. Grubby, by the looks of things, will indeed save. Even though he is making his way out towards mid, as you were saying, 10 seconds left means there's nothing really to be done. So it looks as though Ago aren't going to be able to celebrate a victory just yet. It does still feel like it's only a matter of time before Ago get the single rounds they need. However, we'll get to see if they decide to buy up here. Looks like it is Ago who I think have taken this pause. So I guess they're just, I don't know, I guess they might be talking things over. We'll see exactly what it is. Okay, again, it's a technical pause. Oh boy, I hope this isn't Snatchy's issue again, because that would be frustrating considering it is 15-6.
Yeah, I really hope not. It didn't really seem to bother them the last time. Luckily enough, they still were able to carry that momentum over, but we don't really want another pause. We want to continue on with the action. We want to continue on with this great game. Apparently, Grubby was actually the one who was lagging, so that's why we have a bit of a pause. Hopefully that will be fixed quite soon. His ping isn't really bad, so maybe it was FPS lag. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully we will get back into this quite soon. But yeah, as you mentioned, it seems only inevitable that AGO will be able to get themselves that final round eventually. Big needing to get 9 in a row. Very little room for mistakes.
Yeah, it will be unlikely that Ago will get this round 22, though, because I don't think they'll be investing, especially considering they probably can just save one round and be able to get a decent enough buy together. Certainly seems like it's worth just going for a hard save here. However, it's up to them. If they wanted to go for the force, they could decide to do so. It wouldn't be awful with the saved AK. However, considering Grubby also has some nades, there could be a chance for him to try and make some plays early into the round. Having said that, Big, I was kind of pointing this out earlier, Aiken is certainly capable with that AWP. He's going to pick up the second AWP for the team. So that's something that Big have as an option. And heading into Train, that could be quite important to see both of them performing. And again, Aiken certainly is a pretty decent AWPer, so I'll make sure to watch out for him, see if he can get the job done, considering we saw a fair few frags come through from him in some of the earlier rounds. And we are still just waiting patiently to see exactly what is going to happen here. Again, though, doesn't look like Ago are too interested in buying up heavily. Yeah, especially with Snatchy buying a P250.
Yeah, and it looks like we should be getting back into this one now. The pause will be removed and the action will be resuming. As, yeah, AGO just having that small investment. They don't really put much into this other than a P250, and of course Grubby able to at least save the AK. Gives them some sort of firepower to actually try and work with. But big with a double up setup. This is something perhaps that the Pistols could be pretty decent against. If they're able to actually overwhelm these players, it's hard to be able to actually shut down an entire rush. So it depends what AGO decide to go for into this one. As Groovy with the AK, he was looking to maybe try go up and boost and find an opening kill, but the Molotov for now will hinder his movement. And he may go back for it later on, but for now, it is just going to be... Oh no, here we go. He is finally going to be going up. Himself up into this position and needs to be cautious of the op. And as you can see, Aiken will be able to win that one out.
Yeah, there we go. That AWP does get the job done early. PHR does have Kevlar, I guess. However, Next is here into a main. There's the first kill, sprays down the second, and with the flash coming in, Tabson will also mop up a couple of anti-eco kills. There we go. Big take the round convincingly, as you would expect. And there you go. They will get themselves a buy together. They shouldn't have too many nades to work with. However, the weaponry will certainly be there. They can all afford AKs if they want them. And it looks as though that will indeed come through. 5 AKs for them to play with, even if the nades are lacking.
Yeah, they have one smoke, one Molotov, and at least plenty of flashes. They can use those flashes to try and force the uppers off the angles, but let's see what's going to be done into this one, as once again, it looks like they will go back towards mid. This is what they tried in the previous round. Didn't really work out so well, but now with the rifles, let's see if they're going to have any sort of success, but not really early on. Aiken's going to be able to drop Furlan, and now over towards middle. The trade's yet to be found, and eventually Groovy gets one, but Next is going to be able to return it once again. Tau be able to shut down Next over towards Highway, so back into a 3-on-3 with a slight HP advantage in favour of AGO. What's going to happen now is it will be the terrorists just trying to overwhelm this B bomb site where Looker has pushed aggressive once again. We've seen him in this position a few times. He gets one kill, tags down Tau. And let's see now what's going to happen as the bomb should be allowed to be planted for AGO. Likely going to be a retake now for Big, and with a double up setup, that can be quite difficult.
Yeah, I do like the decisive from AGO to quickly go towards B. They realised there'd probably only be one player towards this position, considering there are only 3 big players left alive, but the AWP still does the damage. Gives the man advantage for the retake. As you said, though, the 2 AWPs could be awkward. They're still trying to see if they can find a quick kill. There's Tabson to indeed find that opening frag, and now PHR is in towards Checkers, but he's not going to be for much longer. Lucker comes in with the AWP, and Big keep on going up to their 8th round on the board. And more importantly, they should keep AGO's economy limited. Indeed, AGO only have $3,500 across the board.
Yeah, nice round by Big there to actually manage to get that clutch. It was looking a bit scary, that one kill coming in by Looker, and then also the damage was really what shifted it back in their favour. Aiken being low, it would have been very difficult for him to get that retake if Looker had fallen like with the 2-on-3, so it would have been very difficult. Coming into this one, AGO at least having some money bonus allows for a small investment to come out, and actually it's going to be the scout in the hands of PHR that finds that opening. Looker gets taken down, Gobby needs to try and hold the rush as he actually does not find the single kill, gets completely overwhelmed. Aiken hoping for the spam to try and bring this back. He's getting close, but it's not quite close enough. Off by just a couple of pixels, as now the bomb should get planted, and Big, this is not looking good right now. It will eventually be Tabson the return one. The Molotov doing a lot of damage, but in a 4-on-3 now. Let's see what Big are going to be able to get done. All the players coming in from CT. They do have a small amount of utility also to work with. There is a Molotov, a couple of flashes, and a smoke. As now Big looking to be getting a move on. The off of PHR able to spot one player in heaven, and the flash forces him back. It's rather a scout as PHR getting more damage done. And now it's all onto Groovy. It's coming back in favour of Big. The CZ finds one, may be able to shut this one down, but Aiken, he wins it out, and Big will be able to get themselves a 9th round.
Wow, they just about managed to win that round against the, again, limited buy from AGO. That was a rough spray down from God B, though. I mean, you'd expect him to get that kill like 99 times out of 100, and yet this time around, the spray just doesn't quite connect. Nonetheless, we will see the buy now come in for AGO. An AWP into Snatchy, plenty of nades, full AKs, and this is their chance now to close this first map. Still, Big need to win 6 in a row just to get to overtime, so they can't exactly be feeling too happy with their position, but I guess they've just got to play it out round by round. Again, the 2 AWPs still in play on the Big side of things, and AGO might be looking for some mid presence early on. However, Aiken is here with the AWP for Big, so it might not be that easy to gain control of mid if that is indeed where AGO want to push. Just as I say that, though, Aiken has now gone back to A with the AWP.
Yeah, and it looks like we could maybe be seeing a split towards B, as Gobby, with a nice nade, goes out, doesn't actually connect any damage. Needs to be careful though, doesn't want to get caught off guard. There is 3 players just waiting around this corner, and with a couple of players waiting towards mid also, they could go for the wall of smokes towards mid. They could try and split in through vent, and with just Gobby and Looker in this position, they'd be not too difficult to try and overwhelm the defense. Looker, even if he gets one with the opposite trade, should be able to successfully come in. Gobby, of course, not really the best fragger for the big side. He has his rounds, but that so far has rather been looking like a bit of a weakness for the big side on the CT defense. As right now, still 40 seconds remaining. They need to get a move on soon, and it looks like they may even take the bomb back in the other direction. The A-bomb site may instead be the target as the split looks to try and come in. They get some control towards mid, they take down Tabson, and after getting that kill, it looks like they will just fall back. 30 seconds now to try and get out onto the A-bomb site with 2 players are going to be awaiting.
Here we go. Double up still on the CT side. Gobby only good for 1. Aiken in towards quad, gets a double. Looking for the third, but he misses the shot. It's back to a 2v2, but with 12 seconds left, that bomb needs to go down. There is an incendiary for Luckham, but it's not going to come in time, so the bomb does go down. That incendiary does get the kill, though, and Luckham spots the second. Nicely played again on the retake. And, well, Big are back to double digits now. At the very least, showing to themselves that they can compete against Ago. And at what point do you start to believe in the comeback? Because now they are 5 rounds away. Having said that, Ago still have a bye thanks to the plants.
Yeah, they've got the bye the last 3 rounds in a row, so they've been not really struggling for the investments too much. Have been able to actually get that plenty extra $800 each time with the increase in loss bonus. They do get the full amount of utility to get all the rifles. No up for Snatchy, but overall it is a pretty solid buy. Big only need 5 more in a row, so this is getting a little bit dangerous. But if I was AGO, I'd start getting scared once they get up to about 12 or so. That's where it gets a bit awkward if they aren't able to get the bomb plants down. If they do end up just losing the round, then they could be forced onto an eco, so it gets a bit more difficult. But right now, AGO just once again splitting up for a default, this seems. A bit more pressure towards B this time as the cross smoke goes down, and it limits the control for Big. They should be able to get a player in towards checkers, or even just try and make a play, but Snatchy gets back through the smoke. Gobby, great point to put this in favour of Big early on.
Yeah, the AWP is switched back to Aiken now as he goes in towards mid. As you were saying, Big get another man advantage to play from. A little over a minute left on the clock for the Polish team to work with. Furlan is currently up on the boost, so Aiken might need to be somewhat careful on towards white box. It's only really Furlan in towards mid for Ago, so that shouldn't be a massive deal. Having said that, the bomb is currently out towards B. Ago still yet to group up, and now Furlan is going to go for the mid aggression. Aiken, though, falls back just about in time. 42 seconds left, and they're going to go in towards Squeaky. Still Ago not grouping up just yet, so it's going to be a very late round push by the looks of things.
Yeah, and this could get a bit scary. 2 players awaiting on B are going to be able to, perhaps if they drop the bomb, it could be a bit of a difficult situation. There's only 2 players in position for AGO currently. They will be joined by 1 from Vent, I believe that's Furlan, but be just awaiting on the site with some support from CT in the form of Looker. But as I said, that Looker begins to rotate, and now Gobby's going to have no support at all, so he needs to take 1 or 2 kills out of this. At least he gets the first. Damage is going to be done also as he shuts down Groovy. And now it's all onto Furlan, and Looker finally able to chime in with 1 to support his teammate, and make it up to 11.
Okay, Big, I see you. 6 rounds in a row now on their CT side. And again, this is really good for Big, just at the very least to realize that they do have the skill individually to win these fights against Ago. After such an awful first half, that will certainly keep them in a positive mindset. Even if they can't pull off the comeback, I think they should already be proud of what they've done here, and there's still a chance for them. They only need 4 more rounds for overtime now. And I think they might be starting to believe. Nonetheless, still a bye for Ago. Currently all grouped over towards A, except for Snatchy holding in towards mid. There is no AWP to speak of, but they have the AKs. Having said that, Big also have a little bit of a heavier presence towards A. 3 players here if you count Aiken with the AWP out towards Truck, and the Poles seem to be lining up the A push.
Yeah, they do indeed. It looks like it will be towards A. Snatchy, he has the flank from Highway, and it's actually going to work out. Tabson falls. Aiken needs to try and return this one now, as if not, the site likely going to be overwhelmed. It's only 1 player to try and hold that down in the form of Nex. And Aiken gets himself at least 1 PHR looking for the trade, as does Furlan, as now it's a 4-on-2. Big. Not looking good. They're going to have to try and claim this retake. Only Gobby and Looker remain. The utility is available. At least the Molotov flushes 1 player into the open and actually burns them alive. Furlan gets taken down, and a nice nade also should do damage onto Tau. 35 HP remains for him, and Grubby's the only one really looking healthy, but he does end up getting 1 kill. Gobby, last man standing to try and clutch out a 1-on-3 as he gets the first. No, there's one over towards quad also, but PHR from main looking to try and just play time, but the bomb not actually for his position. He will push forward, but with these players being low, but the time beginning to tick away so fast for Gobby as he gets himself 1 more. PHR now, he doesn't expect him to be coming up behind. The time is just getting so low, and PHR should have an easy kill, as he does indeed finally allow AGO to get themselves that final round. 16-11, and we will now just send it back to the analyst desk.
Welcome back to the analyst desk of Farmskins, ladies and gents, and congrats to Ego. They win cash 16-11. After hard work on T side, definitely deserved win for Ego because they were dominant from the start, but not until the end. One round, that 3v2 round, almost clutch for Gabi there, but unfortunate timing for him. Right when he goes out of smoke, PHR goes into smoke, and he wasn't able to clutch the round. But Danny, what can we say? I mean, looking better on City side, but on T side they couldn't swing a round in a row.
Yeah, it was really hard for them in the first half. We've seen Furling playing so aggressive behind the smoke in A main, getting 2 kills, the next round maybe 3 kills. So I guess big players were kind of like scared going to that main, like later on in the rounds. But they needed that main control earlier. But still in the second half, we've seen Lucker with AWP pushing towards B Toxic, getting in position there just to get some info. And that happened like 2 or 3 rounds in a row. And after that, Ago realized that he's playing there for a while. So they got like scared to go there. I mean, they were wasting like 1 minute in one round just to see if he's there or not. And they got wiped off when they went on B side. But still big, I think that they didn't have any plans on B side. They were only going towards A. Their post plant was kind of okayish, but still you can play you can defend the bomb when you don't have man advantage. It's really hard, and if you like utility, it's not going to work.
Yeah, definitely, especially when on the other side, Big or Ego in that position have utility, and then they can push players out of positions, frag them really easy when they switch positions, and so on and so on. But I actually believed that Big can bounce back maybe on City side and swing a couple of rounds in a row. But even when Ego got pistol round, I thought it was all over for Big at that point, because they had a lackluster T side, I would say. They were losing game duels. The only rounds they took was when they were going really hard on A, throwing smokes, then waiting, pop flashing in smoke, trying to catch someone off guard and take a round. But even then, they had struggles of finishing the round itself. But hopefully, they have more time to practice. Of course, we're not to judge them because they brought 2 new players like a week ago. They still need time to adapt to each other, to see each other's play style, and so on and so on, so they can be better as a team. But yeah, that would be it for this map. Second map of this best of 3 duel is Train, and it's
Cobble?
No, Cobble is Decider, I think.
Wait. Yeah, Train and the Cobble is Decider.
You wanted to trick me there, but I'm not giving up yet. So Train is the second map between Ego and Big. We are going for a short commercial break, but before we go for a break, just to tell you that Farmskins.com currently have cases on sale. They go for 90% off. You can grab yourself a nice skin. You can support your favorite teams as well. They have cases with teams that were playing in Farmskins, so make sure to check farmskins.com while we are at the break. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Farmskins Championship Season 2, also a qualifier for IEM Katowice. 16 teams fought their way through GSL format group stage. Only 4 of them were able to go to the playoffs, where 4 invited teams already were waiting for them. And here is that playoff bracket. So Space Soldiers versus Avangard was the first quarterfinal. Avangard managed to win 2-0. Then Mousesports versus Man's Not Hot, 2-0 for Mousesports. They are now in a semi-final. And today we had Navi going against Epsilon 1-2. 0, really big upset, and now Big versus Aggo Gaming. Aggo currently leading 1-0, as you can see on the lower third there. So if we go with the tradition, this should be 2-0 for Aggo.
Yeah.
I mean, all matches finished 2-0 in quarterfinals, but Aggo definitely looking strong. Now they're going into train map. They definitely practice. They love to play as well, and they're going against a newer team. Let's say 3 players, but when you even switch 1 player, you get through a lot of changes, especially too when you bring new upper. Then you need 1 more support player that can do everything. Even though I think show that he has really good aim on Cash, that he is capable of going up actually against these teams. And do you think that Aggo can actually go 2-0 now against Big?
Yeah, absolutely. I just can't imagine Big winning this map, because it's not the map you should be playing when you have 2 new players in your team, and especially because this is Aggo's pick. It's one of their better maps, if not the best one. They have some amazing results on this map, and they're looking quite scary on this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going definitely to be tough for Big to even threat Aggo here on train, but who knows? I mean, we've been surprised a lot of times here in Farmskins Championship, and maybe Big just goes off every single pair. I would love Thompson to be one more time that star player for Big, because I think he has a lot of potential to be the best player in that team, and he can perform really well when he's given the freedom. And hopefully Gabi will give him that freedom, because Tapson is a really good player, and Aiken, as we saw on Cash, going out of door a couple of times, getting 3 kills really easy. Those were like those rounds at the beginning of the match. Basically, he was feeling kind of free to go around Rome and take kills, and he was able to do that. We'll see if that's the case on Train as well. Train definitely harder map to do that kind of stuff, but when your aim is on point and you're feeling it, why not go for some kills? But we saw Lucker or Looker, how Dean says it. So maybe I'm wrong. So he goes against Nachi on the other side with AWP. Can that duel be decisive?
Yes, it can be, but still he was like invincible in the first half. He just couldn't do much, but in the second half he was doing pretty good, especially when he took that position around Toxic, just staying there to get some info. But still, I think that that Aggo should be starting on T side just to dictate the tempo. It's going to be really hard for Team Big to just get in their positions to play for the retakes, and you need really good communication, and that's not going to happen that early when 2 new players are just joined the team.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely would be tough, I agree, but let's start with prediction.
I'll go with Aggo once again. Let's say 16-7.
16-7 Aggo this time. Yeah, they were feeling dominant. It will be really now to see if Big can bring it back and tie the series. We are soon ready to go live. But before we go live, of course, just to remind our viewers that we currently have giveaway going on here at eFrag TV. So make sure to subscribe and you have a chance to win Flip Knife Blue Steel Field Tested. And good luck to all of you. We are ready to go live into the knife round with our casters, Dean and Hoka.
Thank you once again, guys, for the great analysis on the desk. We'll indeed be getting into the knife round now, and Big, after falling on their own match choice of Cash, It's going to be a difficult one now coming up on train, especially with those 2 roster changes, not really having a lot of time to prepare. What do you think about this one, Haka?
Yeah, in the past, Train has been a decent enough map for Big, but that's even questionable now because they are playing with 2 different players since they got those okay results. And more importantly, I think, this is an incredibly strong map for Ago. They have some superb results on Train, managing to beat out North and Space Soldiers in the other IEM Katowice qualifier. So I just can't look beyond Ago in this one. I think they're probably going to close this out 2-0.
I think it's looking quite likely for sure, but you can't underestimate Big. They may have their players step it up. Aiken maybe he may turn up. Tabson may show up in full force also, and Nex is definitely also capable of doing something similar. So by no means can you count out the German side, but now getting live into this pistol round. Let's see what way it's gonna go. Utility on the Gobby and also on the Tau over on the T side. So no defuse kit right now for the CTs. Interesting choice, but right now AGO be able to have a faster paced round, perhaps over towards B, getting themselves that control. Tabson going aggressive. Not really going to work out in his favour. Forthan is going to be able to find that opening headshot, and now Gobby on the bomb site. Luckily enough, it doesn't seem like AGO are going to quite commit at this moment. They may just slow it down after being able to get that man advantage, but with the 5 versus 4 going in favour of AGO so early on, they just have a lot of time to work with, and now Big are going to be forced to try and somehow bring this back in their favour.
Yeah, Ago just going to go and spread across the map. And with Tau still having the full set of nades, that certainly means that Ago can afford to play this one slowly. It's also worth pointing out, PHR got to recover that USP, so he could take some long-range fights, and that's something that Big might not be ready for. 55 seconds left still, no decisive moves being made. See there, Grubby with the bomb. Maybe trying to show it in towards ramp. Don't think he's going to commit to the push. Just like say that though, he will show the bomb in towards ramp. You can see his teammates aren't near him, so they're going to go back around towards A. Like I said, that Aiken's already got the first pick. Nex is also holding from camera, trying to find an angle, and he gets 2 kills very quickly. Aiken also going to chime in as he goes aggressive in towards Blue Train. That's how the only man left will also fall foul to Nex's USP. So a very solid A-hold between Nex and Aiken.
Yeah, just a great hold there. Aiken opening it up. Next, have been able to just shut down that A push, and now Big at least winning the pistol. But once again, we've seen that happen over on Cash. We saw them pick up the first pistol round, and AGO instantly return it with the pistols. So by no means are they out of danger zone quite yet. A couple of Eagles available, 3 of those to be exact. Ruby, PHR, and Snatchy will be trying to utilize those, and also a small bit of utility available in the form of 2 smokes and 3 flashes. So right now, AGO, as they group up in the B halls, there's a possibility that they may just execute on towards B. There's always a good chance of a bomb plant. There's always a good chance of at least getting control of the bomb site and then leaving it onto the retake for the CT side. As look at this, a nice double peek should be coming in. Damage, only a small amount being done by PHR on towards Tabson, and as Tabson actually managed to get himself a decent amount of info. And because of that, he will now have Nex to come in and try and support.
Yeah, the smokes look lined up. So Ago might just try and get the bomb down. There are 2 players committed to the site though. As you were saying, Tabson and Nex are here. With a little over a minute left on the clock, some of those nades are going to be thrown. The flashes all follow through, and here we go. Ago going to push forwards, but Nex is on the site with Tabson, and they are locking it down. The bomb is dropped. PHR is the only man left. He didn't fully commit to the push, but I mean, I don't really blame him, because all his teammates died very quickly. There we go. PHR gets 1 kill, but here comes the flank. Gobby will almost certainly get this frag. Indeed, he does. And Big denied any chance of a bomb plant.
Yeah, that was just a great hold there coming in by Big. So AGO not having any success at all on the first bite. Will be now just looking against a full eco, and I don't even think they're going to actually be able to invest anything. They don't even have the money to really justify too many pistols. Snatchy does end up getting 1 P250. He didn't have enough for the op either way, so I guess he's not really too bothered about that. He will get the AK out in the following round. But now Big up against a full eco should have a fairly easy time of being able to shut this one down. You see Looker, he sticks on with the USP, looking to try and build up economy to get the op out. And an MP9 also available for Gobby to try and build up some bank, but it's going to be Aiken to step it up. Finds himself a couple of kills. PHR actually catches the aggressive push of Gobby from behind, but luckily enough for the Big side, it's only an MP9 that will be dropped.
Tabson also trying to force some fights here. Could be in trouble, but that flick back to the face of Snatchy will work well for him. doesn't look like Ago are going to get much done. They do have the MP9 in play, as you were talking about, but shouldn't really be a massive issue, especially as Nex will just spray them down. Again, doing work on the B side of the map. And Big 3-0 up. Lucker will get the AWP in his hands. He hasn't had to get a kill up until this point, but now that he has the AWP, he certainly has the chance of finding something. And Big go for the 2 AWPs at this very early stage. Aiken also going to pick one up. I said this is something we'll probably see, and let's see if it works out for Big.
Yeah, it's a very heavy investment, so if it doesn't, it could be a bit of a problem. Early on, some damage once again gone in favour of AGO, but it's very minimal. Hudson receives 8 points of damage down towards B, so it shouldn't really impact the outcome of the round too much. But for now, it seems like it is going to be a bit of a faster paced round coming in by AGO. They've maybe spotted a bit of a weakness over towards B, and they are going to try and capitalise on that. And a great pop flash is used to force Tabson out into the open. He is not going to have any idea what's going on, and he gets taken down. So AGO with full control of this B bomb site, and I think Big with his double off setup, if they don't find the kill instantly, they're likely just going to be safe in this one.
Yeah, it's always rough to lose the first gun round in this fashion. However, I guess it's a little less rough for Big, considering they do have the 3-0 lead and some money built up. So they should still get pretty much a full buy, to be honest, into the next round, as long as they can save all these guns. The one issue is going to be that Ago will likely be able to save all 5 rifles. So they will also be able to build up a lot of cash on their side of things. So clearly beneficial for both teams to save what they can. Having said that, if Ago lose a couple of players, that wouldn't help their money. So I wouldn't like to see them stray too far out, and they're not going to hunt Big down. So just the 1 kill in that round, and that's all that Ago needed to get the round win. Which means, if you look at the scoreboard, it's a little bit funny. They've only got 4 frags, despite getting that round on the board, which you don't see every day. Nonetheless, still a full buy for both teams here. And let's hope for Big's sake that maybe the AWPers can get more involved. And Aiken will try to do so, but it's Lucker who does get involved with the AWP, finding that opening pick. Might just go for the repeat, but won't quite take any more fights just yet. That smoke goes up. It's just a man advantage for Big.
Yeah, good find there, Leon. Next receives some damage, as does Gobby, but they get themselves the 1-man advantage, and AGO on the back foot. They don't want to get reset, of course, as you mentioned, they live to 5 players at least, so they build up some bank. But they don't want to allow Big to continue building this lead. They don't want to allow them to go forward one, so they will be just looking to try and make some plays to bring this back in their favour, to try and find the kills. We see Tao just lurking up Ivy. It's not really going to work out for him, as Looker once again hits the shot with the AWP and takes him down. So now, not looking so good for AGO as their numbers just continue to decrease. It's going to be all the kills gone in favour of Big so far. Snatchy finds 1, but that seems to be it, as now PHR is left to try and clutch this 1 versus 4. And it's looking unlikely as it gets spotted out. We'll at least maybe be able to retrieve the bomb, but it's going to be just so difficult with the off posted up in the back lines and Gobby up close on the train. He can also coming in from the flank. It's just, once he gets spotted out once again, he should be dropping once he actually tries to push forward. And you can see he's just forced back off into Amen. So very unlikely he's going to find too much more in this round. Maybe a kill or 2. That would maybe be the best case scenario. As for now, Big just playing this really safe. They don't want to give this kill away. Gobby just going up and down the ladder to try and get the info. Trying to spot out this player and make sure that his teammates are going to be actually in a position where they can trade it out.
The one advantage for Ago is, remember, they got to save all 5 guns from the previous round, so their money is at least somewhat established. However, PHR won't be allowed to save the AK. He does die before time, so he is still going to get the cash, and Ago will likely still go for the Force. Well, it won't be a full buy. We'll get to see what they are missing. It's probably going to be a few nades. And indeed, you can already see PHR lacking any utility, except for a decoy, I guess, if you count that. And the rest of the team also missing a few nades, as well as no AWP on their side of things. So that could be an issue, considering they are up against 2 AWPs on the Big side. However, having said that, they're going to try and counter those AWPs by going for a fast-paced push. And Nex gets caught off guard on the A site. He'd been doing a lot of damage on the previous hold, so that could be an issue for Big, as Ago already looking to get the bomb down.
Yeah, and great cover there by Snatchy, able to deny Tabson from actually stopping that bomb plant. They also took down Gobby in the process, and it's all up to the double up setup. Aiken and Looker rather have to try and clutch this one out, and I don't think they'll really have too much success going for this. And you see Aiken has already fell off, as will Looker be back towards Ivy. And we see a hunt actually coming in. Aiken may get caught off guard. PHR should have a free kill, but no, Aiken gets that one. Luckily enough, Tao in position to at least trade that one. So Looker trying to save. His position is known. He's definitely been spotted out now, as he does at least hit that first shot to hold them back off for the moment. But Grubby, he comes out from Ivy and will be able to find this. So AGO going for a faster paced round up against the double up setup, and it does end up working out.
Yeah, worth a try, certainly. And there you go, it works for them. So good call from Ago coming through. I think especially towards that A side of the map, if you line up those smokes early, that can work quite well for teams on their T side. I think that's part of why teams are finding a bit more success on the T side of Train recently. I think it's certainly still a CT-sided map. However, teams seem to be able to get a little bit more done when they are on the terrace side. Nonetheless, boost coming in. And Snatchy, I thought, was going to get the opening kill there, but Aiken gets a little lucky, surviving on 17 HP. I guess the shot must have gone through the train or something, so Aiken not taken down early on. He could now take the AWP, and indeed he does. Cheeky little bit of Bogdan's lore for you. So still a 5v5 for the time being, although just as I say that, an even trade out towards Brown Halls. Still an even numbers game, 4v4, but you can already see Ago might be able to get towards B quickly. Having said that, now Big do have to rotate in.
Yeah, Gobby and Looker are going to be in position, but Smoke's going down. Actually fails. This is a problem for Snatchy. He does at least get one with the op and somehow falls back off successfully. Remains alive on 3 points of HP, and now Furlan from Heaven is going to be able to take down Gobby and maybe able to find more as next falls to the op of Snatchy. And now it's all onto Aiken. As mentioned before, he was taken down extremely low. Because of that, he's just going to go to try and save once again. Big. Not a great gun round there by any means coming in.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Aiken's going to try and save the AWP. However, even that is up for debate. He only has 17 HP. Grubby is hunting him down. He certainly made some steps there, so Aiken should be aware of this. However, it doesn't look like Grubby is going to go the right way. By the way, from Ago's perspective, they'll be quite happy with this. Remember, they lost the pistol round, so they've managed to bring Big back down to what will likely be a bare bones buy, except for the AWP. And even that hasn't been saved just yet, but it doesn't look like they will hunt him down. So Aiken stays safe, and Big at least keep an AWP for the upcoming rounds. However, other than that, I don't know how much they are going to invest. Either way, while we have this chance, I want to quickly mention a giveaway we currently have running here at eFrag. If you subscribe to the channel here on Twitch, you will be entered in with a chance of winning a Flip Knife Blue Steel Field Tested. That's going to be drawn on Sunday after the grand final, so make sure to subscribe on Twitch if you want to be entered into that giveaway. And other than that, here we go, back into the action, because that nade does a little bit of damage early on, and Gobby is also down to 2 points of health over towards Ivy. So it looks like he's taken some damage. Will just about be safe for the time being as Aiken goes aggressive. Not going to happen. Furlan, though's got onto the B site, so it looks like Ago have realized where the weakness in the setup is. Aiken, though, with the AWP, gets the leg, but not the frag. So Snatchy just about stays alive with his AWP, and he'll just probably look to save the AWP for Big at this point.
Yeah, definitely just trying to save the op. Nothing really found. Interestingly enough, you don't see rounds too often where all 10 players remain alive. And right now it's looking like a possibility. We do actually see Tabson looking to try and push forward some of the players with just pistols to maybe try and find a couple of kills out of this one. But it's not really going to work out. Tao takes down Looker. And now he should be able to save the op at least. But the kills, they will finally be going back in favour of AGO. They take themselves too quick. Gobby is on 2 points of HP. Only has the USP to work with, which is an interesting thing considering he does also have the Kevlar. But AGO now able to equalise that scoreline, 4-4. And now Big, as they get back onto the bye, do at least have the op to work with. If they weren't able to save it, they wouldn't have. So that is a positive.
So here we go back into a gun round. Ago have been having the better of things so far in these rifle rounds. And they've also had success both towards A and B. So that certainly feels good for the Polish team's chances. Although they are going to have to continue to find similar success. As Tabson goes for the spray. It does a fair bit of damage on towards PHR, down to 70 HP early on. And in the meantime, Nex also gets aggressive up towards A, peeking in towards A main for the opening frag. And Furlan gets sprayed down by Gobby. That's got to be a little frustrating from Furlan. He just goes for the jump to try and gain info, and yet he falls, as does PHR. And Nex and God B are just picking this apart one by one. Ago full. Finally, Grubby will get revenge for his fallen comrades, but it's not enough. He will go down and Big regain the lead.
Yeah, AGO though, they were able to build up a pretty decent economy, so they aren't struggling for the buy quite yet. They're able to get everything out. They won't really have much left in the bank, but a very similar story right now for Big. So it's going to be a pretty important gun round now coming into this one. Whoever loses this likely going to be forced onto an eco. And neither team really wants that to happen. It allows the other team to get a pretty solid lead. Big, they want to try and get themselves into a good position. AGO, if they could reset the economy of Big right now, they'd be looking very, very solid. But look at this aggressive push coming in. It is going to be one player looking to try and peek upward. That's Looker with the AWP. And he is not really going to be able to find anything instantly. But as I say that, he gets Furlan and also Teo, who jumps through the smoke. Big with a two-man advantage, and Gobby going to increase that even further. Looker through the smoke. Takes down PHR. And in an instant now, it's just Grubby that remains in a 1-on-5. Gets at least one kill, but it's only small consolation as instantly the trade will come in, and Big, they chain 2 rounds together.
Ooh, the AWP doesn't quite get saved at the end. That could still be dropped over by tabseN. He would have to give up a couple of nades, but Nex could also drop it, and he's already got pretty much a full set of utilities. So there we go. The AWP goes back into the hands of Looker, and considering the round he just had with that AWP, that's certainly something Big will be happy about. Very, very well taken 3K. And heading into round 11, Ago not quite with the full buy. A couple of CZs in the mix. Aiken, though, has pushed up over towards Ivy. He's playing up close to his own smoke. I was going to say, I don't necessarily like that position too much. However, now that the smoke is fading, he has decided to fall back. So I'm happy that he has decided to do that. And it looks as though we're not really going to get any fights to start us off. Although, that Molotov forces PHR to cross to the other side of Pop Dog. Nex is going to peek this angle. PHR does fall. Nex has been getting quite aggressive towards A, and it's been working well for him. Again, the man advantage. However, having said that, Snatchy's going to get the kill back, and Furlan also wins another fight. So it's back to a 3v3. And they haven't committed to the A push, yet they've drawn over the rotate from tabseN. Now, though, it looks like Ago may come towards the A site. It's not guaranteed yet, though. I'm not exactly sure which way they're going to go with this. Looker is playing very close with the AWP. Either way, 40 seconds left. Let's see what the polls decide to do.
Yeah, they are basically going to be forced to go towards A at this point, and 2 players are going to be in position to try and hold this down. Looker, he was quite aggressive, but just as we should see the T is moving, he decides to fall back towards Connector and play a little bit more safely. He may be able to find one as they come out, and there you go. He takes down Teo. Now AGO with only 20 seconds remaining in a 2-on-3. Bomb yet to even move out towards the A bomb site. Finally will begin to do so, but it's not looking great now for AGO as the time is running down, and still 2 players to try and actually take down before they can get that bomb planted. You can see Gobby in a good position, and he is going to be able to drop Furlan, and that should now be the round. We see the bomb just been carried by Grubby over towards Sandwich, and he is going to go down. Luckily enough, dies before the time runs out. There's about 3 or so seconds to spare, but Big been able to pick that one up now. Will force an eco for AGO.
Tao's gone for 1 P250. A couple of other players may be able to afford some pistols. However, certainly not a huge investment. As you can see on the Big side of things, they will still continue with the 2 AWPs. They've been fairly fortunate in terms of being able to get those AWPs quite often, and Looker again goes aggressive towards upper B. Aiken tries to also chime in, and indeed he will on the second time of asking. He gets that frag. So both AWPs get opening kills on opposite sides of the map, and that's going to look good for Big, especially as God B gets a kill himself, and Aiken through that smoke, gonna find a second frag. PHR out in the open will fall. As expected, Big take an 8th round.
Yeah, no damage at all being done for AGO, so great one coming in by Big. And now the buy finally will come back out for the polls. They don't have the op on the Snatchy. They will instead just be working with the 5 rifles, but a lot of utility to try and actually back that one up, as now Big, 8-4, currently looking so much better in trend than they were on Cash, and this is the map pick of AGO, so perhaps it's opposite day, being able to, we saw AGO taking Cash to map choice of Big, and we may see something similar happening now, as it looks like AGO coming into this gun round, maybe looking to try and go for an execute immediately. They are setting up to try and make their way on towards the A-bomb site, and this is something, I guess, to try and once again counter this double op setup.
It might be the case. We'll have to see if it works for them, though, because, again, both AWPs are in play, although Looker is over towards B, so he might not get any action instantly. Having said that, Aiken is trying to reposition with his AWP. In the meantime, though, he is going to get that opening kill, but Grubby just picks it off his head. Tabson in the meantime upgrades to the AWP and gets a second kill, sidelining Grubby. Furlan has managed to sneak his way to the site. It's a 2v2, but Furlan quickly turns it into a 2-on-1. Godby, though, gets one back. It's a 1-on-1 now. Godby nearly gets taken down. He manages to stay alive. There's still plenty of time to play with, but Godby straight up takes that fight. And Big starting to look a lot more confident now. This is really nice to see them come back here.
Yeah, God B just stepping it up there with that 1-on-2. They had no idea that he was on the bomb site and it just worked out perfectly. Even while on 40 HP there, he managed to win out the 1v1 in the end. So just great performance so far by Big on the CT side. Finally, the players are stepping it up. Maybe some players you wouldn't even expect it to come from. God B with a great round there to deny AGO from picking up a 5th. And now into this one, it's going to be just a bit of a half by double scout setup on the D side, interestingly enough. It will be only a half investment, as I mentioned before, but Looker going to be able to open that one up. PHR hoping to try and counteract that aggression, but it did not work out. And Looker now, he decides to fall back off, just as AGO begin to advance into the brown halls. As they may just look to maybe try and get a plant over towards B. Once again, trying one of those maps where if you go towards B with the pistols, there's at least a good chance of getting the bomb plant. It's holding down the after plant afterwards, that is quite difficult, but let's see what they're going to be able to get done. 2 scouts once again, one is being retrieved by Furlan, a Deagle and a CZ, as it's going to be currently Looker just awaiting over towards that B-bomb site with the support of Tabson, as still well over a minute remains. So the T side not really in any rush. They don't have to try and commit to this quite yet, but they will have to get a move on eventually.
Yeah, for what it's worth, the back of that clutch, Godby has got himself up to 12 kills, top fragging for the Big side currently. I feel like whenever Godby's top fragging for Big, it's either going very well or very wrong, and this time it's going rather well. Just as I say that though, just as I sing his praises, he makes a bit of an error, giving away his rifle to Furlan, who was just waiting patiently at the top of Pop. And now the push is going to come out towards B. There are 2 players here for Big. Snatchy with the scout in play. Ooh, does get that headshot. He must have flicked up to the face there, but Tabson up close denies the bomb plant. There's the second. Eventually, though, the trade comes in, so it's back to a 2v2. Now the bomb can go down safely. However, Snatchy can't stay alive. Next will find the frag on towards him. Now Grubby needs to try and win a 1v2, and he will also be sidelined. Next managing to find both kills on the retake. And Big, I mean, to be honest, I think they'll be fine with that round, because AGO were going to buy in the last round of the half anyway, and they just make sure that they do get the round win.
Yeah, that was just such a difficult clutch for Grubby to 1-on-2. They knew that he had just planted the bomb. They knew his relative position. They knew he was either on the bomb train or it maybe crossed over towards Grey, which is what he did eventually do. But he just didn't really have any sort of a chance. He was forced into taking the fight, and it was won out by Big. As towards double digits now, it will be 10-4. AGO, they have one more chance to try and get something done on this T side. And then we will be swapping over to halves as it's going to be at least a fairly solid buy this time by AGO. They get the op out for Snatchy, they get all the utility they could ever want, and they have the rifles. As Aiken looking to try and find the opening kill, and I believe he spotted one player jumping across, waiting to see if perhaps someone else decides to go for the peak. As right now AGO just continuing on with a fairly standard default, it seems. Presence being put both towards Ivy and B. And look at this by Aiken, the confidence that's currently being shown. He goes extremely aggressive. Not really going to work out in his favour though, as he ends up going down to Tau. And even if he did find that first one, likely would have been just Grubby in position to trade it. So now a 4-on-5 in favour of AGO.
There's a fine line between confidence and cockiness, I guess you could say. I don't think that was necessarily a cocky play by Aiken. I think it's not an awful idea. However, he got a little unlucky with the timing. I don't think he fully expected there to be a player on the right-hand side. So it's not going to work on the aggression from Aiken early on. That means that the rest of Big might need to try and make a play if they want to get back into this round. Or they could just wait to see if AGO falter on the push. Tao's going to come forward, solid flashbang, gets him a free frag. And now AGO will look to overwhelm the A site hold. PHR does fall, however in the meantime his teammates are going to get the trades back. And unless Tabson can win a 1 versus 3, it looks like AGO will salvage at the very least one last round at the end of the half.
Yeah, but speaking of that, Tabson going to be able to find the first. Doesn't spot out the bomb planter, but he will eventually take down Furlan, and now he spots out Snatchy! And Tabson wins the 1-on-3! What is that? Absolutely amazing play. Just walks out connector and finds them all one by one. Doesn't take a single point of damage. And Big steal away in the 11th round.
That was just so quick from Tabson as well. That's the most surprising thing. like, he not only did he isolate the Ago players, he took 3 one-on-one fights, but he did it so quickly. That was really impressive from tabseN. I mean, I don't really know what to say. I didn't think he was going to pull it off. But there you go. tabseN pulls out the explosive clutch. And it's all the better for Big. They managed to get an 11th round before the end of the half. And now Ago really need this pistol round.
Oh yeah, definitely. Otherwise, it's going to be looking really good for Big. Stepping it up massively so far in train, looking much, much better than Cash. Their players are just... No one's really doing the heavy lifting. We can see everyone's quite close. The top fragger on 14, 2 players on 12, 1 on 11, and 1 on 10. So everyone's carrying their own weight currently. You can see that reflected by the scoreline. As now AGO, let's see what they're going to be able to get done. Will they be able to pick up this pistol, give a chance for the comeback to be built? Or is it going to be Big just running away with this one? As right now, Gobby picking up utility. Over on the CT side, it's Tao with the defuse kit. And let's see where Big decide to take this one, as it looks like they will be heading up in towards the B halls.
There you go. Only have Tao here for the time being. Just as I say that, Grubby will now rotate back towards the B side of the map. In the meantime, though, Furlan's going to take a fight out towards Ivy. There's only Aiken here. Looks like both players just trading shot. Neither of them particularly connecting. It does look as though Big will take this round slowly. Still a little bit of damage being traded, but certainly nothing considerable. Bomb is currently leaning over towards B, and Tao was in towards upper. I think he's switching positions. Now he's gone down behind that little wood part of the B site. And GodB with the bomb is going to push out towards B. They're gaining a lot of ground here with the Glocks. They could try and wrap through connector back to A, but GodB loses the bomb on the B site. Trades coming back and forth as Furlan wins a fight on towards A. And Ago just fragging out here. It's only Next left alive. And, well, he gets 2 kills very quickly. However, just too many players to deal with. And, yeah, Ago just managed to find all the frags really quite quickly there.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting round by Big. Just didn't really work out. They weren't able to get the kills themselves. And now AGO will be able to just go up against a bit of a weaker buy. Should be a force buy, I believe, coming in. But then again, with Big having such a massive lead, it's not really needed. And in my opinion, this is the correct decision. They do just go for the eco. They make sure that they're going to have into the following gun round a pretty solid buy, including the AWP. And they're happy enough with just investing into a few pistols in this, trying to keep the economy for AGO modest. As right now, it is going to be some aggression actually coming in by AGO. Tao pushes up forward, should be able to spot out a couple of players, as he himself now has been spotted. And tabseN with the deagle, yet to actually take the shot, will eventually do so. Takes him down to 58, but damage is going to be returned, as it's going to be Looker to get wall-banged by both Grubby and Furlan. Furlan is the one to take the kill, but I guess that wasn't really lucky at all for Lookers. Now it's a one-man advantage in favour of AGO, and make that too. Furlan able to take down Nex over towards Ivy.
There we go, double kill for Furlan, and you can see him trying to get even more luck with the wallbang. However, this time around, Big have already repositioned. There's only the 2 FAMASs in play, so it was still quite important that Go got a fair few kills early on, just to make sure they win this round, and they look good to do so now, up in a 5 versus 3. Big will have to make the move shortly. Aiken spots out the first man. Won't win the fight though. Snatchy takes him down. tabseN through Ivy. Gets 2 headshots. In the meantime though, the rest of his team has fallen, and Snatchy pulls out the pistol for the final kill. So despite a couple of snappy shots from tabseN, doesn't lead to anything for Big. But as you were saying, their upcoming buy round should be very strong with how much they've saved. Although GodB's going to buy a few more nades here. He's down quite low on cash. I guess he could just go for an ump if really needed, though, and getting the smoke might allow a bomb plant to come in over towards B.
Yeah, there is a decent chance of it coming in, as especially only one player being in position right now, and he doesn't really have the fastest of rotates. As I said, though, Grubby will make his way back over, has the M4 to try and cover off Heaven, and allow for just the focus of Tao to be put towards ramp instead. But here we go, flash goes down. They try and come down the ramp, but it's just going to be easy picking so far for Grubby with that M4 as he gets himself free, swaps out to the deagle. Doesn't get the 4th kill, but he does connect some damage, and that should make it a bit easier for Tao to finish off. As they line up, they crouch in the corner together, and they will be taken down. AGO get themselves up to 7, and now Big are able to get the buyout. And as I mentioned, due to going for that eco, it will be actually a very strong buy.
Now, it looks as though Ago have called for a technical pause here. Some ping problems coming in for PHR. I can confirm he's got 400 ping right now. That's pretty unplayable. He's also struggling pretty heavily on this map. You don't really like to point out individual performances. However, he's currently 2 for 15, and I think he had a pretty decent map in the first, so that's a little bit surprising. Either way, as you were saying, Big do have that incredibly strong buy for this round. They actually don't have as many nades as I expected, but that's because Nex still has money, so he will buy up a full set, and it will be pretty much a full buy, except for Lucka missing a few nades. We'll get to see what Ago stick with, because Snatchy has a lot of money, however he also has that MP9, so a couple of options for Ago as to whether or not they want to upgrade. The thing is, Big are already up to 11 rounds, obviously, so I think Ago might just need to play for the round wins as sort of often as possible, so I wouldn't mind them just deciding to upgrade and make sure they have a full buy here, make sure they have an AWP. I think that's what I'd prefer from the Polish team, but we'll have to see what their decision is.
Yeah, it looks like they may even keep some of these on. Just going for what Sadikis used to call a Jaden round, but I don't know if it's really worth it with the current scoreline. Trying to give away the least amount of rounds, of course, would be ideal. I guess we're still yet to really see what they decide to invest into this one. They have a lot of money left over, so if they want to do so, they should be able to even get the up out for Snatchy. There's almost 9,000 in the bank, so that's a pretty solid amount to be backed up by. But it looks like we should be now getting back live into it, and we should be finding out what's going to be bought up by AGO into this one now, as one M4 at least is already available. One from us, also a second M4 for Furlan, and Tao buys up the AWP, interestingly enough, so that's an interesting choice.
And here we go, back into the action. As you were saying, it's a pretty strong buy for both teams. Snatchy, the one player sticking with the MP9, and he, as you also say, he certainly could have upgraded. However, I still think it's pretty good for Ago, and Snatchy seems to have had a plan with the MP9. He's already pushed out through upper B with some assistance from Tao. Having said that, Snatchy's gone a bit further, and he will be caught by Tabson on the spray down. Tabson did take a lot of damage, so if there was a second player there, it probably would have been a one-for-one trade, but obviously Tao is not going to take that risk with the AWP. So it's just a man lost for Ago early on. Having said that, Tao still has the AWP peeking into upper B, so it might not be as big of an issue because Ago can afford to stick with 3 players still on towards A. So that will make things at least a little easier for their A hold, and it looks as though that's where Big are currently deploying most of their forces.
Yeah, definitely seems like it will indeed be coming towards this A bomb site. Aiken coming up Ivy, the rest of them going to be coming out of A main, rather also being joined by one towards Ivy. For them though, starts this off strong, gets himself a second onto Nex. And if PHR pushing out a pop dog is going to spot the barrel of Thompson's gun as he looks to try and come out of A main. But trades do eventually come back. Aiken and Looker taking one each. I'm down to roughly 40 seconds to the bomb will have to be retrieved quite soon, and it's up to the 2 new additions for Big to try and clutch this one out as PHR in a great position. Able to spam away and eventually find that kill onto Aiken, and now Looker with 22 points of HP. Have to try and clutch the 1 versus 2. He gets the first. It's going to be a really nice shot, and now Tao with the AWP up close. Not expected. He was able to find that one for free with his back exposed. Looker does get taken down, and AGO now getting themselves up to 8. Big, once again, their economy not going to allow for them to buy, so we should see a 9th round coming in for AGO.
And I was pointing out HR's performance, struggling so far. He just got himself 2 kills in that round. So there you go, finally providing some impact for his team. And if that can continue for Ago, they are certainly starting to come back into this game. Big with the pistols, though, just going to go straight up for a push down pop dog. They're not going to full on go for the push out. However, that incendiary forces Nex back. Looks as though they may go back towards B, but they have no utility, so it's going to be really difficult to get the job done. And there we go, Tao already gets the first kill. Having said that, Nex actually won that fight in towards Pop Dog, so he gets a rifle recovered, gifts it over to Aiken. Maybe that's something for Big to play with here.
Yeah, certainly something having that M4. It is a pretty decent pickup. Trade, it does tend to favour the T side, but when they don't really have all the firepower to back it up, it's going to be quite difficult, especially on train, where, especially if you go back towards A, it's just so many long-range angles, the pistols don't really have too much of a chance to get those kills, and it seems like this will be where they take it, but they do have some smokes to maybe try and cut off some of those positions. Aiken, as mentioned before, also has 1 rifle to work with, as right now, AGO, they seem to be quite aware that it may be an A hit. They have 3 players over on this side of the map, and also it's going to be Groovy playing quite passive on B, so he has the possibility to go for a very fast rotate. As now, Aiken looking to try and find this opening kill. Spots out one towards the stop sign. Taudo will luckily enough return that one and get a second on towards Aiken. And now Nex and W are going to be the last 2 standing left in a 2-on-3. The CZ finds at least 1. with 2 points of HP and 2 players to find, it's looking very unlikely. And it will be Groovy to shut that one down. So at least some damage being found for Big, but in the end, it is the round for AGO, and they take it within only 2 rounds, no difference.
And Tao has been looking on point with that AWP so far. Normally Snatchy is the primary AWP for the team. Tao is only picking it up as a second, but oh my goodness, it's 3 AWPs for AGO. I mean, I can handle the 2 AWPs. That's certainly standard on a map like Train. And again, I know that Train is a map where the AWPs can find a fair few angles on the CT side. But if you ever lose a bomb site with 3 AWPs in play, you could really struggle to retake. So I'm not sure I fully agree with this by AGO, but they have the cash flowing. They decide to go for it. Let's see if these 3 AWPs can make the difference.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see. It's a very interesting setup, but let's see if it's going to work out in their favor. Big, they are a team that likes to go for these executes, and that's when the ops are going to become very, very difficult. You're very restricted in terms of the movement on the retakes. And with the fast play coming in towards B, this is going to be a pretty tough round. How though? He does manage to open that one up, takes down Nex, and falls back rather, and stays alive at least for the moment. And now Big, looking to try and get a bit more aggressive in this after plant. Tao somehow still alive, will eventually fall as now it's back into a 4-on-4. The bomb yet to go down, but Groovy with the secondary AWP, or rather one of those secondary ones, is going to be able to take down Gobby. And now, let's see what's going to be found. One man advantage in favour of AGO. Aiken at least returns a kill, takes down PHR, and he continues going aggressive where he's able to take some more. Snatchy and will eventually lose out the Furlan, but now in a 2-on-2, his job is being done, and Tabson, he continues pushing forward, takes down one more, and now Groovy as the last man standing, he will be found in Big, getting themselves around onto the board on this T side finally, breaking that 5-round win streak for AGO, and with the damage that has been done in the previous rounds, AGO have very little money in their bank.
Yeah, especially after investing into 3 AWPs. That doesn't help the money side of things. And I honestly think that Tao did enough on the B site hold there. I think he got 1 kill, and then he stayed alive for quite a while. He was buying time for the rotate to come in. However, AGO, with a couple of AWPs in play, they couldn't really go aggressive once they were forced to retake a site. And we're going to spot Tao this time trying to go aggressive. But Gob B will finish him off early. Farlan with a D gets a kill. And considering Aiken was all alone, that's going to be a rifle gifted over to AGO. We've seen a couple of times both teams, when they're up against pistols, lose the rifles when they are by themselves. Might be better for them to just group up, because giving the rifle over to Farlan could make this round a little more difficult than it needed to be. And now with 3 players stacked on this B bomb site, maybe AGO have some chance here.
Yeah, certainly a small possibility they have the 1 rifle to work with. PHR goes for the face, isn't going to be able to find anything, and every single kill goes in favour of the Big side, as now it's just going to be up to Groovy on the flank, and I believe he has now been spotted. But yet to go in his favour, well eventually, but Next in position once again to trade that out. And Big now, chaining a couple of rounds together, getting themselves up to 13. And NGO, if they want to buy into this one, Groovy's going to be a bit low. But they will go ahead and invest. They don't want to allow Big to pick up any more rounds. They want to try and get themselves back on this comeback train. It's on train, but yeah, it's gonna be a difficult one either way. No op this time. They go from having 3 ops to absolutely 0. So not really ideal.
Can you tell me where the comeback train is, Dean? I know where the blue train is. I know where the green train is. Where's the comeback train?
Somewhere towards the back of the map, I would presume.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to make sure. Farlan forced back by the flames early on. If Aiken went for the peek there, he may have been able to catch Farlan in the back, but he decided against it. So, in spite of the deep smoke, AGO have to go passively. And, well, that looks like it's going to be how this round starts off. Both teams playing quite passively, although Nex could be ready to try and make a play. He's pushed up in towards A main. Quite a few big players waiting around A at the start of the round, and Nex does catch Snatchy off guard, so that's going to prompt the push out through Ivy. Aiken making his way forwards. The timing is right. He could catch a player or 2 in the back, but it looks like Big are quite content to slow things down with the man advantage.
Yeah, but it is going to be Aiken to be able to just find another. Does eventually get traded up by Groovy, but still Big with a 1-man advantage or in a decent position. But as I say that, Groovy gets himself a second. Long range with that FAMAS is going to be able to win out that aim duel. And now Big finally looking to try and commit towards this A-bomb site in an equal number situation. Not going to be easy by any means, but with Absence able to find openings like that, it gives them a bit of a better chance. PHR steps it up, finds that trade at least, and now Tao coming in on the flank could be the one to get the main damage done. As Bomb is still yet to go down. Gobby will be looking to try and get this one, and Looker trying to find out where PHR has repositioned himself to, as he will now be just covering towards Pop Dog, and the timing for Tao is what really is going to matter, and you see he gets it correctly. Peeks out just as both players look away, finds that kill, and now he's coming in. He's going to be aware of the position of Gobby on top of the bomb site, and a nice nade goes in. He's going to be able to take him down along with the spray from the M4. So AGO end up bringing that round back in their favour somehow. That was a 5 versus 3 in favour of Big, and somehow Tau and PHR are able to clutch that one out.
Yeah, Tau with a cheeky 1-2 punch. The bullets alongside the nade get the job done. Gobby finished off at the end there. And Ago not only get up to double digits, but they also might force Big down to a slightly more questionable buy. I think it should still be mostly AKs at the very least. I'm not sure if they'll get an AWP though. Yeah, you can see Lucka is forced down to a UMP. A couple of players missing some nades. However, it's certainly still a capable buy from Big. That's certainly not up for debate, but it's also not exactly a full buy. So certainly have to see if Ago can hold this one off, because they have the AWP on their side. Early on, we are just going to see them again play a fairly similar setup to the previous round. Having said that, Snatchy now has elected to go over towards B. 3 players there. He's in towards connector with the AWP. Looks like it might not be the right read right now, because there are a couple of players up towards Brownhools who I think were throwing out a few nades. But oh, it's because Furlan's pushed through Ivy. He captures one player off guard. He may have just spotted the bomb in towards A main as well. So a man advantage for Ago. And they also get a bit more information as Big now regroup around A by the looks of things.
Yeah, looking like it will be. What a great opening kill by Furlan. Is eventually going to start to fall back now, and Big need to get a move on soon. Tabson just spraying wildly. Roughly 50 seconds that remain on the clock as they're down to 45, so they don't have too much more time to work with. The bomb in A main means that it is going to indeed have to go over towards the A bomb site, and a nice Molotov there by Snatchy is going to delay Gobby for the moment. As right now, it's getting a bit difficult for Big. Let's see what they're going to go for. It looks like they will be preparing at least some sort of utility, throwing that out towards the A bomb site. But Furlan, he reaggresses, doesn't actually get the kill. Does almost drop Looker, but now with the bomb going back over towards B with just about enough time, it could perhaps get a little bit dangerous. It's only Tau to try and hold this one down. Does have some support from the back line, but Tabson, right headshot on towards Groovy. So Snatchy and Connector, but it's going to be Gobby who falls first. And next, at least finds one for himself. Tabson once again with the spray down. Not quite able to transfer that one onto another, but it is going to be going all in favour of Big so far. As Furlan is left to try and clutch this one out. And Big get up to 14 by taking that gun round and doing so with very low HP on both players. That remained, that is.
Yeah, and next one, a massively important fight there. Tau was still on the B site when the bomb was trying to go down, and I thought that he was going to get 1 or maybe 2 kills for free, but Nex just about managed to finish him off, surviving on a slither of health, and then he followed it up with a second kill to close out the round win. And now Ago down on the back foot in terms of the buy, as you were saying, only pistols alongside a scout. We have seen the push come out through upper B, though. This is something that Ago have been willing to go for a fair few times. This time, though, Tau not going to fully commit to the push. He's just going to stick in brown holes. So that allows there to be a 4-man stack towards A. And in the meantime, Gruby is also getting aggressive in towards A main. So Ago taking a fair few positions early on. Big might not expect these players to be so far pushed up.
Yeah, certainly not. They may not be indeed. Good positions right now for the AGO players. But Big, let's see where they eventually try and take this one. Looks like they will be just grouping up mostly. Looking to try and make their way up through the B halls. The bomb also going in this direction, but there's still a decent amount of time to work with. Just under a minute, so they aren't really in too much of a rush. But as they do get over towards B, this is where Tau has his chance to try and shine. Let's see if he's going to be able to find anything, but no, it's not going to work out. Groovy also falls. Snatchy with the 5-7 lines them up and finds the triple kill as the AK will also be retrieved. Next needs to find this trade. He will do so, but now he's left to try and clutch this one out, and he walks directly into the crosshair of PHR. As AGO are able to pull off that force buy and get themselves an 11th round, and Big, they have basically no economy to work with. This should be an eco now coming up by the German side, and while we have a moment, I do just want to go ahead and say thank you to the sponsor of this tournament, Farmskins, for allowing this to happen. And also, I am going to go ahead and remind everyone that there is a giveaway being done. All you have to do to enter yourselves in with a chance to try and win it is subscribe to the channel. The prize is a Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested, and it will be given away on Sunday after the grand finals of the Farmskins Championship number 2. But now, it is just going to be the eco coming in by Big. They have a couple pistols invested into. A few of those being Deagles and a P250 also onto Gobby. But AGO now in a decent position, getting themselves a lifeline by picking up that force buy. And damage early on, slightly in favour of AGO.
That was just the perfect storm for Snatchy. Having said that, Gobby gets a running dink on towards Tau. Pretty good way to start the round, but it's not going to lead to a kill. And in the meantime, PHR, well, he only gets the 1 kill. Could Big win with a weak buy like Ago just did to them? They've got 4v3 advantage, although Furlan is still at the back of the site. He gets the 1 kill, although he might get caught off guard. He manages to spot the player out. Good reactions from Furlan there, and now Lucka might get the 1 kill, but he's not going to get anything else. Ruby locks it down. So Big take it close with the pistols. However, they're not going to win that round, and now here comes the buy. It's going to be somewhat lackluster in terms of their nades. Certainly not a full arsenal of nades to work with. However, they're just going to have to utilize the 2 smokes and multiple flashes they have.
Yeah, let's see how this one's going to work out now for Big. AGO, if they take this one, likely going to be an eco once again. Forced and equalized scoreline then would be looking likely. But Aiken, he's able to step it up. He comes out, Pop Dog finds 2 kills. Slashy and Furlan will be able to trade that back. But Aiken continues on finding these. Furlan takes down 2 more. I believe that was 201 bullet right there. As now it's all on the Gobby to try and clutch out as he gets both of them. Gobby, he's able to get map point for Big there with a quick double headshot. A player that you wouldn't expect to be pulling off these clutches. That's the 2nd time now in this map that he's been able to do it.
Yeah, God B getting it done. I remember as well a couple of times God B, when it really matters the most, has stepped up. I think there was one time where Big were winning 15-14 in a game they had to win to get through to the minor. And I remember him clutching a 1 versus 2. So clearly he's capable of the clutch rounds. And Big just going for the exact same play, quickly out towards A. Not quite the full team committing though. It's only Lucka who goes out to get the opening kill. And in the meantime, Tabson wins a huge fight over towards B. That completely opens up the bomb site. And it looks as though we may just be going to a decider map here because Big have a huge advantage. A 5v3 for them. Lucka's going to tap away, not quite get the kill. But Ago have almost no chance here. The frag's coming in. Furlan on just 10 HP cannot do anything. And Big, after losing their own map, come back on train. Let's see what the desk has to think about that one.
Welcome back to the analyst desk of Farmskins Championship. Big managed to take 2nd map 16-12, and they got tie now in this best of 3. This is 1st quarterfinal that went to all 3 maps, so definitely exciting match. We saw Big. They were able to go back and perform like they would usually do. Shut down Ego. They practically, I mean, they had a couple of rounds in a row, maybe could have won it, but 11-4 half for Big at in their city side, and after that they got a couple of rounds that kind of smashed Ego's economy. They couldn't buy Ego as well. Questionable decisions here and there. PHR, unfortunately, not as good as a performance as he had on the first map on Cash.
I think he had problems with his ping. So
I think it was Snatchy actually.
It was Snatchy?
Yeah, not him.
I think Dean said it was PHR.
Oh, maybe it was him, but I mean, yeah.
If it's him, let's not blame him. Let's blame him, internet developer.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Ego, their own map pick, and they kind of looked lackluster on their T side. Definitely should have done better. But even when it comes to city side, they had questionable rounds here and there, like missing really easy shots, then hitting double with AWP, and of course a lot of problems when it comes to city side. But yeah, let's break this down. Train from the first half. I mean, really dominant performance from Big. Every player stepping up, even Gabi showing up on the map. What went wrong for Ego?
It's just that Big played really aggressive on, especially on A side and upper B, so they didn't leave so much freedom for Ego players to get ready for some executions and strats. But still, it's not that just Big destroyed Ego's economy. They destroyed their economy as well, buying 3 ops in that one round.
Yeah.
And as soon as they bought 3 ops, I realized, I knew that they're not going to make it. In that round, they lost it, but I remember that Furlan pushing through Ivy, all the way going to T-spawn. He caught off guard. I think it was Aiken, and they had that man advantage, but sadly for him, he missed a huge spray towards an enemy player, and since then, when he died, they just won the round, and that's one of those rounds when I go, let's say, through. But still, let's not blame PHR for that poor performance. I think he really played underwhelmingly, but for his standards. But if it's him or his internet, let's just blame his internet developer there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not as good of a performance as he had on Cash. I think on Cash he dropped like 30 bomb or 29 frags in the end, and now only 6. It's or 7.
Yeah.
So it was definitely underwhelming, even though I think he had really good decision towards the end there when he lived long enough for rotation to come. Then Gabi was left in 1 versus 2 situation, couldn't clutch it. You see that they have really good team play and coordination between players, but seems like they caught off guard. I mean, that round you mentioned, like buying 3 AWPs and only putting 1 player with AWP towards B, and he's hiding behind Pop Dog. Yeah, he got 1 kill, but he was overwhelmed pretty easily there because 2 players pushed Pop Dog, 2 players went towards site, and they definitely didn't have enough manpower towards B to shut that attack down from Big. And at that point, they were reset. They had to go eco. That gives advantage to Big, and they managed to take the map as well. Yeah, so it seems like we are not going for a break, but I'll just remind our viewers, of course, once again to visit farmskins.com. They currently have cases on sale. You can grab them by 90% off, and you can get yourself a nice little skin to make your inventory more beautiful. Also, to remind our viewers that we currently have a giveaway going on for all subscribers on eFrag TV, so make sure to subscribe. When you are participating in giveaway, you get Flip Knife Blue Steel Field tested. And of course, winner will be drawn on Sunday after the grand final match of Farmskins Championship Season 2. We'll find out which team is going to qualify for IEM and which player or which viewer, actually. Let's call them players. We have 8,000 players on the stream.
Right now.
Imagine that. Yeah, but 1 viewer will get that knife, of course, to play with it. Maybe, I don't know, try to make it even better. I made mine better with trading.
Don't lose it on betting sites, please.
Yeah, gambling is not okay. Of course, it's not okay if you go to other sites other than farmskins.com.
That's nice.
Yeah, of course, I have that prepared always. Yeah, we are going, of course, immediately to third map analysis of third map. Third map is Cobble. Pretty good map for German side. Also, Ago had okayish results, I would say, in the recent past. But third map, Cobble, what can Ago or Big do right in order to take this best of 3 home?
Yeah, since Big surprised us here winning on Train, which was one of the better maps for Ago. I mean, Ago is really good on Cobblestone as well, to be honest, but still, looking at all 5 players from Big stepping up like hugely, they have a chance to surprise Ago on this one and take the series out in their advantage, in their favor. But Ago, if PHR, like if he doesn't step up, there might be some problems with them. I think he was top fragger on the first map, and that chicken is nice, thanks. But still, he had like 7 kills. That's really bad from him. If he step up, it could be a close map.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely missed, or PHR was missing for Ago on Train. If he had a little more frags on T side, I think they could even brought it back to 8 to 7 maybe for Big, or maybe 8 to 7 towards Ago. That would mean a lot for the team, because 8 rounds on T side of Train is pretty good, especially when you know that you're going on to City side, your better side. a map you already practice. You know you're playing with a team that has practically two stand-ins. They're a team for 2 weeks or a week, so they didn't really have time to practice something more. You can see from Ego, for example, they did smokes on A, but not big. Big went for those, even though they a couple of times they did smokes towards B, but those are the easy ones, and you can practically see them putting Lucker or Looker towards B together with one new player, and then going just on Pop Dog, trying to get some frags, putting them first. Lucker goes with AWP from maybe upper slope, tries to get some frags, while Icon goes towards first slope and let him do what he does best, and that's frag. And of course, Sago had some bad setups towards B, but who knows? They'll probably fix it for next time. They still have a chance to go to the semifinals, even though this could have been 2-0 if they played their cards right. But Cobble, do you think that maybe seeing Ago how they struggled a bit on their T side on Train, maybe they need to start on better side on Cobble, for example, T again, but it's a lot easier to play T on Cobble than it is on Train.
Yeah, they should be going for T side. I mean, Big still needs to prove us that they're better in this current roster than with Kiev and Legia. I mean, when Kiev and Legia played with them, it was the last match in that previous former roster, and it was against Mousesports, and they got smashed 16-1 at some point, and
yeah,
they really need to prove us.
Probably they knew at that point they are disbanding or they are kicking two players, so maybe that's why they didn't really perform well against Mousesports. Everything can come in place, of course, for them, but it definitely looked. I definitely looked worried for Big, because I know they've been doing quite well for quite a while. After PGL Major, we saw them at TSG Tour Mykonos as well. Maybe they didn't have as good of a performance as they did on Major in Krakow, but they still did well. So after that, they seemed kind of shaky. Then one guy is underperforming. Kiev didn't really have that much of an impact with AWP anymore. It was like he played without confidence. For example, you look at Smuja. Smuja goes off in every single corner and picks whatever he wants. On the other side, Kiev was kind of afraid, I think, at that late part of the big roster, and that's why maybe he didn't perform.
I mean, Kiev was just like Smuja when he played for alternate attacks back. That was like...
Yeah, but alternate back then played really, really aggressive.
Yeah.
And that kind of suits Kiev as a whole. But yeah, so we can start with predictions. We are soon ready to go live into the last map
it's really
of the
tough
day.
to predict the result now since Big won on Train. But I will go with underdogs once again, and that's basically Ago, 16-12.
16-12, I'll go with Big, just because, you know.
Yeah, just because.
Yeah, 16-12 as well, big. So we are ready to go live, of course, for the last map of the day between Ago and Big. Dean and Hoka, take us away.
Thank you, guys. We are indeed here for, as Rema so kindly said, the final map of the day. Big up against Ago, the only quarterfinal to go to all 3 maps. And with both teams winning their opponent's map pick, how do you think Cobblestone is going to end up, Dean?
12 overtimes.
I hope not.
Yeah, we all probably want bed eventually, so maybe not 12 overtimes. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a pretty close one either way, but I feel like AGO are going to edge it. We saw them kind of warming up there towards the end of that second map, and I don't know if Big with this roster have had too much time to try and practice this one. It is a good map for both sides, pretty decent overall, but just that roster change for Big means that they aren't really going to have much to fall back on if they aren't connecting their shots, if their defaults aren't working. So yeah, I think I'll favour slightly towards the Polish side.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you overall. I still feel like Go should be the more solid team. But if this big lineup have their players show up, then I think they might be able to have a bigger potential upside than Ago, especially if Tabson shows up. Obviously, he's proven in the past that he can be one of the I mean, I'd say for a time he was probably one of the best players in the world. Like, not top 5 or anything, but certainly in the discussion for sort of top 10, top 20. There was a period of time where he was in really good form. But either way, enough about the past. We're going to have to come to the present because we are live into the action. Tao's going to get a set of nades, whereas Big yet again go for 5 sets of Kevlar on their CT pistol.
Yeah, this is very interesting once again. It's strange that they don't go for the fuse, get, I guess, confident in just being able to hit their shots. And right now, Aiken, he's taking a fairly aggressive stance, holding in towards danger. And indeed, he could be in danger as 3 players just waiting on the other side of the door. If they push close together, likely a trade at least will be found unless Aiken is able to step it up massively. And here we go, the T as they do begin to move. Aiken falls back to try and hold this angle off, but he won't be able to find anything. Norman starts it off, but Looker returns at least 1. Trying to remain alive now, as it will be just a commitment towards this A bomb site, and the USP retrieved by Groovy is going to be able to get some damage done. As once again, Dreads come back in for it, and now 1-man advantage for AGO. Bomb should get planted, and Gobby and Tabson make that just Gobby. Are going to have to try and clutch this one out, and without a defuse kit, it's going to be extremely difficult. And as you can see, Furlan easily gets that final kill. AGO getting that pistol.
Yeah, Grubby was the one on Ago to get USP early on, and then he just kept on fragging with it, up to 3 kills on that pistol. And a little bit unfortunate for Aiken, his timing was slightly off on the peak, so he didn't get the chance to pull the trigger. And that meant that as soon as he attempted to fall back, he just got overwhelmed by the Glock train. Now heading into round 2, Big only have a few upgraded pistols. They haven't gone into the Kevlar. This is what we saw on the last map as well from Big. After losing the pistol, they kept about $1,000 in the bank towards each player. And I think this works quite well with Big's playstyle. I think I prefer them to just get that gun round as soon as possible. I feel like if they went for the full force, they wouldn't have had a massive chance of winning it. And Tabson could still do some damage here with this EUD. He does get that kill. I wasn't expecting PHR to go out there, but it works out for Tabson. He gets 1 frag. However, the MAC-10 is only going to be left behind. And there you go, from the 4v4, we'll reposition over towards A.
Yeah, players up on long, 1 close to the ramp. It could be a pretty decent round right now coming in, especially if we see Looker being able to find this opening kill. Next is the one instead to find a kill towards middle, and Gobby just running out of door with the CZ, picks up 2. And the Tau on 10 HP is going to be the last man standing, bomb down towards the ramp position. And this is going to be very difficult now to try and clutch this one. Tabson even retrieves himself an AK. And I think this may just be the round in favour of Big. Gobby steps it up massively, finds 3 kills with the CZ, and allows for Big to find the upset.
Gob beat the CZ, gets 3. Do you like the rhymes? I thought it out.
Very much.
Took me a long time to write that one. But yeah, Big managed to get that round to go their way. I mean, the one deke from Tabson was certainly a solid start, but then also Big having 2 players towards A and quite a quick rotate meant that they managed to lock it down. So they are the ones now who have all the rifles into round 3. Having said that, they're playing quite close range here. Aiken could be in trouble. Snatchy peeks in towards him, and the P250 is going to get the first kill of the round. That forces next to rotate over, but the spray down gets 3 kills so quickly. And Next may have just saved the round because it's back to a 2-on-3. Having said that, Lucker was in towards mid, but now he's gone out towards A long for the big flank. There's no way Grubby expects this. He does indeed fall. And Tau only has 5 HP, so there's no real chance of him winning this.
Yeah, even less chance than the previous round. This time he has half the HP. He has an extra player to try and take down. And it is just going to be closed up by Looker. So from long, he finds both of the remaining kills. And it is going to be Big being able to chain 2 rounds together. And AGO, after investing into the previous one, they will be just stuck on an eco in this one. Unlikely to be able to really get too much to work with other than maybe a couple of pistols. And right now it seems to be just the one for Snatchy. He gets a P250. 4 Glocks are still going to be in play for the other players, as Big should be able to get this round quite easily. We shouldn't really see too much being found by AGO. Depends where they try and bring this one. If they group up, maybe a couple of kills could be possible. They try and just overwhelm their opponents and close the distance with those pistols. As right now the bomb, it is going to be over towards middle with 2 more players. And over towards B, it's just, I believe, PHR and Groovy just holding to wait and see if they can catch any aggressive pushes coming in. But Looker, up close to the MP9, looking to try and build up money towards the AWP. Only finds 1, actually, as he does get overwhelmed. And he's traded back out once again as Tau is able to take down Aiken. And now an M4 is being retrieved along with that MP9. decent damage so far to be found by AGO. And as they commit towards this A bomb site, there is actually going to be all 3 CTs getting into position to hold this one down. Tabson spots out Tao, eventually finishes him off. And Gobby is going to be there to assist and deny the trade for Forlan.
Nice little team ace for Big. Everyone chiming in with a single frag. However, now comes the test for them. After managing to win the full spy and gaining the 3-1 lead, they are up against the rifles. Having said that, a little bit surprising that Grubby decides not to buy a helmet, instead going for a full set of nades. It shouldn't be a massive issue into this round. There's only 2 M4s on Big, so it's not too likely to necessarily have a big impact, as Aiken going to get the spray down early on. Tao was thinking about the trade, however, as the nade came in, he decided to not take that risk, and this nade might just finish Tao. Just about gets away from it, down to 35 HP. In the meantime, though, Snatchy pushes through mid. However, oh, God B doesn't actually get that kill. The nade comes in. That's not going to do enough. So God B there will be a little disappointed he didn't find that frag. However, luck elsewhere will ensure that Big do get a man advantage.
Yeah, Big stepping it up massively right now. Good damage being done. Kills going heavily in their favour. Will be able to find one trade, but it's not before he loses both of his teammates. And he's going to be the one to close that one out. Gobby, he's been stepping it up massively. We saw some great clutches on train. We see him currently on this map, currently at a 5-1 scoreline. So he's doing a great job. He's not at the top of his team. That is next. And Looker are also going to be on 6, but it's looking pretty good for the German side. AGO once again will be forced back onto the eco. They have built up money bonus, allowing for at least pistols to be invested into this time, but still shouldn't really be too difficult for Big to close out. They have that one MP9 in the hands of Nex. They look to try and build up some bank, $600 per kill, of course. As right now, it will be just a default coming in, it seems, by AGO, just splitting up, waiting to see if they can find any picks. And with pistols, I don't know if that's really the best decision. Nex, he's showing confidence, goes aggressive. MP9 just about finds that kill, and he's allowed to fall back for free.
Now the one SMG for Big gets the first kill of the round. Tao with the Desert Eagle looking to line something up. However, he won't be able to. Lucker too quick on the trigger, as is Nex, getting his second kill out towards B. PHR the only man left. Shouldn't really find anything. So Big to an early lead here, taking the form they found on train into Cobblestone on their CT side yet again. And there we go, Nex gets good timing for the flank. Actually, Aiken went down to 1 HP there, surprisingly enough, but it won't matter. Big get to save all their guns, and Nex does decide to upgrade to an M4. I'm quite happy to see that, considering he knows he's going to be up against a full buy. And here we go, it is that buy for AGO with now an ult for Snatchy.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen into this gun round now. AGO need to start getting some rounds onto the board. Cobblestone, one of the few maps that's usually considered slightly biased towards the terrorist side, so but a 5-1 lead early on, Bigger looking very, very solid, and right now it looks like AGO we're going to be favouring over towards the B-bomb site early on. It looks like they won't really be going too aggressive. Either way, they didn't really have the option with that Molotov going down, but it looks like the XQ is going to be prepared, and they will just look to try and commit up straight up through the smoke. Some nice pop flashes going in. Not really going to be working in their favour though, as it doesn't line them, allow Nex to find a double spray down. Look, they're also defending a 1 and goes ahead and doubles that one up by taking down Snatchy. And Ruby's the last man standing in a 1-on-4. He gets a single kill. That is going to be it before he gets denied. And Big, once again, taking that gun round, increasing this lead 6-1. And AGO with no bomb plant. They'll have a bit of money left over. If they got the bomb plant, they would have had a buy into this one. But you can see if they do now, it's going to be PHR and Snatchy lacking. And you can see after the investment comes in now, PHR at least actually gets an AK. He won't have any utility to back it up. And Snatchy, he'll be left down onto a deagle.
Yeah, both Nex and Lucker have been really impressive for Big so far here on Cobblestone. Nex, again, leading the way with 12 kills. I think he was quite a big part of them also being able to win on train, so it's really nice to see Nex step up. He's someone who has had, I'd say, some consistency issues in Big, but it looks as though in this series, at least, he has been finding some form. Nonetheless, into round 8, as you were saying, it's a buy for AGO. Snatchy falls down to a Desert Eagle, however, certainly still capable of doing damage with that weapon if he can find that quick headshot. And AGO, I think they know how important this round is for them. They've taken the start of the round quite slowly. If they lose, they're probably down to an eco, and considering they're already 5 rounds behind, that's something they really cannot afford at this point. So AGO will be hoping this round goes their way. However, they might just run into an A stack here. 3 players on the A site for Big, and one of them is Lucker with this AWP, who in that very previous round had a solid hold of the B site. So they might not expect the AWP to be positioned towards A this time around.
Yeah, perhaps it could catch them off guard, as right now it looks like they will be once again preparing an execute. For the moment, they are going to be held back by the smoke. A decent setup between the CTs. We see Tabson watching mid, Aiken waiting to try and support Looker once he gets contact. And now, with a flash going down, AGO may begin to move soon, and they definitely have to. Very little time remaining. Orlan going to be the first one to try and move out mid. That crossfire over towards long now will be coming in for the CTs as Aiken is able to take down 2. But the trades still go in favour of AGO. They're able to claim themselves a one-man advantage, as well as control of the save bomb site, and it's going to be increased even further by PHR there, who just spams back at the tracers from Gobby and takes him down. So next, last man standing, as you mentioned, he has been having a very good game so far. But 1 versus 3, will it be too much to ask is the question, as it seems like it will indeed be. He just begins to back off, looking to try and save. Big, their economy, it's looking decent. They will still easily enough be able to buy into this following round, and they will then just look to try and maybe reset the economy of AGO. But finally AGO getting themselves a second onto the board.
Yeah, next is going to have to save that AK. However, Big certainly will have money for the buy into the next round. While we have a little bit of downtime here, while Nex is just saving his weapon, I want to quickly go ahead and mention a giveaway we currently have running for a Flip Knife Blue Steel Field Tested. If you want to be entered into that giveaway, you just have to subscribe on Twitch. And it also helps support us. And, you know, we've got this nice HUD going. I hope you like it. If you do, why not chuck us a cheeky sub? And you also get the chance to win that Flip Knife Blue Steel. That will be drawn on Sunday after the grand final. And as we head back into the action, both teams have a full buy, with Snatchy and Lucker also both getting orbs.
Yeah, as I mentioned, though, AGO, they have to avoid getting reset now in this position. That would be a worst-case scenario, as previously the only round they took was actually that pistol. So now looking to try and chain them together. Looks like they will just go fast over towards this A bomb site, and it's currently just going to be Snatchy and Tau to try and hold this one down. But as I said, the rotate comes in fast for Big, and they're going to be going in their favour so far. Looker with a great shot on the PHR. Let's continue trying to face up against Snatchy, and he gets the no-scope on the Grubby. Maybe able to close this one out, but it's Next instead to find the headshot. And Big, all the kills go in their favour there as AGO. No success at all getting up that ramp on mid.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea, but run into the AWP, which really sort of cuts them down. And I feel like AGO needed to have a player that was willing to sit back and line up the flashbangs there, because otherwise they are quite long-range angles where it's quite difficult to actually get that trade. Oftentimes, Big could have just fallen back in a fair few of the positions that are generally played by the CTs. And ooh, that nade lands straight in the face of Snatchy. The flames also force him back down to 18 HP very early on. Considering AGO only have pistols, that's not the way they would have liked to start things off. Lucker this time out towards A long, gonna get that first kill. Lucker's done a pretty solid job at switching up his position a fair amount of the time. So you see, they don't expect him to be there. Having said that, some kills come out. Grubby with the block pushes through that incendiary to take down Tabson. He is eventually going to go down. I'm surprised he could even get 1 kill there. However, having said that, the rest of Big look to clean it up, and Aiken finds another 2k to close the round for Big.
Yeah, Looker stepping it up massively so far in this map. He wasn't really having amazing performances on the other maps. He wasn't absent either, but this time he's currently 14-4 on the scoreboard. So up there with Next, getting a lot of work done. Because of that, it's going to be reflected by the scoreline. 8-2 currently in favour of Big, as AGO will at least be able to get the buyback out now, looking to try and get themselves some more rounds. Don't allow Big to run away with this any further. Ideally, AGO now want to get themselves up to 7. As I said before, this map does tend to be slightly biased over towards the T side. Right now, AGO just splitting up for a default, it seems, waiting to try and catch any aggression off guard. 2 players outside mid waiting to see if they go for the pushes, and we see a boost towards drop room, which is not going to work out in favour of Big. Tabson actually gets taken down, and PHR finding a good opening pick in favour of AGO. And now Big down by 1 man. We may see them look to try and aggress once again to bring this back in their favour. We see up on long. Next, he's pushed up into the corner as the support of also, or rather, yeah, Nex is, rather, Gobby was pushed up in the corner, had support of Nex, as he will decide to just back off for now. So AGO, with that 1 man advantage and a lot of time to work with, they're just going to slow this one down massively.
Yeah, haven't taken a single point of damage despite getting that opening kill. Always a good position to be in. Lucker again is out towards A long. Doesn't necessarily have the support that close by, but now Aiken will rotate over towards A. That's a bit of a gamble coming in. Both AWPs committing to the A site hold. That means that Gobby and Nex over towards B could be in real trouble if the push comes out through plat. You can see their setup is much more focused towards drop. And Lucca, a very tight angle, but he is going to nail that shot. Snatchy gets caught out. That's going to prompt the push from Ago. 25 seconds, and they're going to come out through Plat. Furlan gets that quick entry. It was actually Tao to steal it away, but Furlan does finally frag as well. And Aiken doesn't land that shot on the cross, so now it's just the AWP stuck on the retake. And surely there's no chance for them here. PHR already going to pick one of them off. And that was the gamble there that they took, putting both AWPs onto A. Doesn't work out for Big.
Yeah, not at all. AGO getting themselves another round now, getting up to 3. Looking to just try and save the AWP. They will have a decent economy into the following round. They will be able to buy once again. But AGO looking to try and survive with all 4 players this time it seems. But Looker actually happy enough with trying to take a couple of exit kills. He takes down 1, takes down Tao, and that's going to cause a bit more reinvestment now in the following round for AGO. Not really too substantial, but ideally AGO once again don't want to get reset, so every gun that they're able to carry over matters towards that economy. And right now, it is going to be that round ending. No chance of Looker losing the AWP. And a third round for AGO is big. They will be looking to try and buy up once again and just contest this one. Try and stop AGO from building up any momentum at all.
And a round win here wouldn't necessarily completely stop the momentum from Ago. However, it would certainly put them down to a weakened bye. So that's exactly what Big will be looking for. 8-3 the current scoreline. And to be honest, neither side really has much money built up, but you can see Ago might just go for this quick B play. They found success at B in the recent round. Let's see if they can follow that one up again. You can see the counter flashes coming in have slowed things down. The rotate is coming in, and Next gets a triple kill, looking for the quad. He finally is traded on, but the damage is already done. It's a 2v4 now. Snatchy looking for something with the AWP, anything to go his way. He does get the 1 kill, however the trades come in quite quickly. And Next with the early 3k ensures an easy round win for Big, although I think they did accidentally just save a third AWP at the end there, so they might have to throw that one away, but okay, no, they're just going to stick with it.
Yeah, triple op setup. We've seen this work against, I believe it was AGO on the previous map. Groovy, Snatchy, and Tao, I think, at the AWP, and after they lost that round, their economy was completely destroyed, but let's see how Big are going to be able to fare with it. Aiken, I'm going to try and go aggressive, peeks in towards middle, doesn't really spot anyone out for the moment. There is 3 players just on the other side of that door, 2 of them making their way up long, but he doesn't get any of that info, not able to actually see any of them, as he does just fall back off to play this angle from the hook. Position that we see Simple, I believe, playing a lot with the AWP. Is one of his favourites, it seems, and actually Big have a bit of a read perhaps on towards what's happening right now by AGO. Sent the third player over to try and help on this A bomb site, and it looks like Nex is even going to be coming into connector to beat a fast rotate. As right now AGO, if they make their way towards this A bomb site, they're going to have a lot of CTs ready to try and hold this one down, and if they peek in towards ramp, if they peek up towards the A bomb site, the up likely going to be able to find the opening. As you can see, Aiken does so, gets one gobby up close, and it is just going to be a shutdown so far by Big, as no kills nor any damage to be found by AGO. Only Groovy and Tao that remain. Both of those players on long. Tao taken down. Groovy up in the left corner. Don't think his position is known, but with 5 players to find, very unlikely he can really get much done.
There we go. Aiken gets a 4th kill to make sure that Big don't take a single point of damage in the round win. And I think part of the reason that rotate may have come in was because they had 2 AWPers holding the A site. It was Aiken and Lucca initially positioned over towards that bomb site. So I assume they wanted to make sure they had a rifler there just to make sure that they didn't get completely overwhelmed by pistols attempting to rush towards them. Either way, Ago now are back with the buy. Aiken, though, is sticking with this AWP, as is Tabson over towards B. So they are looking to lock down a fair few angles here. Still sticking with the 3 AWPs in play. And we'll get to see if it works for them, because they are currently holding a couple of aggressive angles. Aiken out towards A long was peeking, and that smoke is deployed to allow him to peek behind it. I like the idea from Aiken, especially because Ago obviously hear that smoke. They wouldn't expect him to be able to peek through it. However, it's not going to work this time around because Ago weren't in position, so no opening picks just yet for these 3 AWPs.
Yeah, and if the time begins to run down too much, that's when it could get really difficult with the triple op setup. If AGO are able to just overwhelm a bomb site, the retake is just going to be so difficult. They don't really have enough rifles to be able to maneuver around and find those openings. Unless some mistakes are made by AGO, of course that would be. But right now, AGO, let's see what they decide to go for. They have most of their presence over towards B, and it looks like the bomb will also be coming in this direction. So Looks like the B bomb site may be the target. And currently next, Tabson and also I believe Aiken in position. And Tabson right fine on the PHR, gapping that smoke that's used perfectly. And the op will be able to open it up in the hands of Tabson. One man advantage for Big. AGO still looking to try and commit towards this B bomb site. They have no other option with the time being so low. And it looks to be the op once again stepping it up. Not a man you expect to be able to do this with the AWP, but he is indeed as he finds the quad kill. And it's going to be Big to get up to 11. AGO having no success at being able to actually penetrate this triple up setup defense.
Well then, maybe Tabson should pick up the AWP more often. He has just doubled his kills in one round thanks to that 4K. He'd been very quiet up until this point because, to be honest, his teammates were stepping up. He wasn't really required to have any huge rounds. However, he manages to step up in a big way there. Now, though, going to go straight down drop, as is the rest of the team. 3 players gaining ground, and they're going to try and split towards this A site, which may be a possibility. Aiken and Luck are both up towards A long, and they could get sandwiched in here. The nade's coming forwards, the smoke goes off, and, well, AGO have managed to somehow sneak their way onto the A site here.
Yeah, and Looker extremely low on the other side of the smoke. Aiken also working with an AWP. This could get dangerous if the CZ pushes them down. And up close here on mid. Will they take this angle? Gobby does, luckily enough, takes down Furlan. And they're coming in towards this retake. It's still going to be quite difficult for Big. The triple up setup is going to maybe cause a bit of a problem. But if the rifles are able to find the openings, perhaps not. Tau finds one before being traded out. Aiken able to step it up and take down Groovy. That's any PHRs actually that remain. And that's going to be decreased even further. PHR is the last man standing next once again. He steps up to find both kills, and it is going to be Big getting themselves a 12-3 half. As AGO right now on Cobblestone, not really having a great performance by any means. Reminder, this is the final map of the series. Loser, this will be eliminated, and AGO obviously would have been looking to try and play in front of that home crowd in Katowice.
Yeah, at the half here, just want to give a quick shout out to the main sponsor of this tournament, Farmskins. Obviously, it is called the Farmskins Championship number 2, and they have couple of winter offers over for you on their site. If you want to go ahead and win some skins, make sure to check out Farmskins. And thanks to them for sponsoring the tournament. Either way, back into the action. As you were saying, the Polish team will be hoping that they can pull their way back into this one. And remember, both these teams are a full nationality. Even with the stand-ins on Big, they are a full German team. That's not something you see every day. Quite a few international teams around nowadays, but it's nice to see a couple of national teams stick around. And either way, Big gonna go for one set of nades. Gobby with a Molotov and 2 flashes, whereas Ago pretty standard by a kit and 2 flashes for Furlan. Big might keep the pace up here, straight out towards B.
Definitely seems likely the steps will be heard. Tau going to be able to at least find one, but next treads it out once again. It is going to be a 4-on-4 going back in favour of the T side, but it doesn't last for too long. Groovy going to be able to find a quick double headshot. HR is going to give him the assistance now with the USP. It's a bit awkward. He eventually does get that headshot onto Aiken, and now Gobby left to try and clutch it out. We've seen him do this multiple times in the series so far. Finds the first. There's a flank coming in by Snatchy, but he's going to be taken down, as it will be AGO to get themselves a very important pistol round.
Yeah, the fast pace doesn't necessarily lead to success. That is proven there. Big, despite managing to gain some ground towards the bomb site, eventually end up faltering. And as we have seen a couple of times now in this series, whenever Big lose that pistol, they generally don't invest massively into that second round. They just upgrade a few pistols, and that's exactly what they've done here. A few P250s alongside Nex, who has almost fully invested. I'm just going to see Big wait to see if Ago make any mistakes, go for any over-aggression, but that doesn't look likely. For the time being, both teams just going to be holding back. And yeah, not too much to be said, honestly. Both teams playing this around at the start kind of as you would expect, and now Big will group up for the push.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be able to find any success. They still have well over a minute left. Will be just taking themselves some control towards A, and it looks like they may actually go back over towards B. So while we have a moment, I'm going to go ahead and remind everyone that there is a giveaway being done on this channel. It is for a Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested, so if you want to get in with a chance to try and win that one, all you have to do is subscribe, and also be here present on Sunday after the grand finals of this, as that's when you have the chance to try and get yourself that knife indeed. As right now, it is going to be Big, looking once again to try and just group up towards B with most of their pistols, try and maybe overwhelm the defense. It's just Aiken to lurk over towards A long. maybe try and get something done on the flank, but he will actually make noise. He's going to be maybe trying to just make a bit of presence towards A, but it's not going to work out. Snatchy shuts them down. And now all the steps being heard over towards B. Let's see if Big are going to be, or rather AGO are just going to be able to lock this one down. That is the question. And indeed it seems to be that case, as it's only going to be Next that remains. Has had a good performance so far, but he's only going to be able to find one before he is taken down.
As expected, AGO get their 5th round on the boards, and they should be able to get their 6th quite convincingly here. I would like to see AGO certainly upgrade their rifles, especially considering they're so far behind. They really cannot afford to give away any easy rounds here. So heading into the next round, I would like to see them upgrade these SMGs into rifles, and maybe even an AWP in the mix for Snatchy. But for the time being, we just have to sort of play out this round, I guess, because there are still a couple of upgraded pistols for Big. Certainly could do some damage as Aiken goes out towards A long. Snatchy just going to deploy the incendiary to make sure he doesn't get overwhelmed. It looks as though that has stemmed off the aggression from Big for the time being.
Yeah, and Snatchy, he aggresses up towards long, going to be able to take down Aiken. And once again, that lurker over towards A dropped without really being able to find anything at all. Let's see where Big are going to try and take this one. Be looking likely, but as I say, that one player deciding to go back over towards A. That's Looker just dropping the bomb back in the B halls, making sure, I guess, that no flanks come in by the CT side. And Tabson, it's a great find onto Tau. Going to be able to take down one player, at least with Groovy in position to find the trade. Gets one and the second on the Tabson. And as expected, this eco, or rather anti-eco, should be gone in favour of AGO. All onto Gobby now. The 50 and Kevlar will be walking immediately into the crosshair of his opponent, but he hits the flick. Takes down PHR and retrieves himself a UMP, but it's still a long road ahead. 3 more players to find, and it's not going to be possible.
Here we go, buys coming in. Lucker straight back up to that AWP. And as we have been pointing out, as this series has gone on, it looks like he's got more and more comfortable in this team, and especially on Cobblestone here, he's been having a lot of success back on the CT side. It's yet to be seen, though, if he can transition that into the terrorist side, because you do have to play it differently. Obviously, you have to go aggressive quite often to get those openings. Either way, on the AGO side of things, they did upgrade their guns, as I was hoping. Tau's the man picking up the AWP, but he's gonna get that headshot very quickly on towards Lucker. He wins the battle of the AWPers early on. And, well, that was just a very fast reaction from Tau. And in the meantime, Snatchy, with his rifle, is going to play a nice off-angle to catch Aiken out. One by one here, AGO look to take the fights. And Furlan also follows suit. Finally, Gobby gets something for Big, but they have to now clutch a 2 versus 4, which doesn't seem too likely.
No, not really. Gobby, he's been good at the clutches so far in this game, in this series. Next has been one of the shining stars for Big. So if you wanted 2 players alive in a situation, perhaps these 2 are a decent choice. Maybe not the best. Tabson maybe would want to be in there in that situation, but right now, 50 seconds remaining for Big, and as they move up towards the bomb site, depends where they go, that it may be a bit risky. We see actually Gobby pushing underneath the window. If he tries to cross onto the bomb site, he should be found by PHR. And also on the site itself, it is going to be Furlan towards the back, but Gobby, with the headshot, able to get that for himself, and now it's going to be only a 1-man disadvantage for Big to work with, and the bomb site is just completely taken over. The bomb should be getting planted. Next needs to try and cover to make sure that no one pushes out from the AGO side, but that does happen. PHR finds one, and Ruby will be there to ensure that Gobby also falls, as AGO do get themselves a 7th.
AGO refusing to give up without a fight here, despite being 12-3 down in the past. Pause has been called. Hopefully it's not PHR who's lagged out, as he has to defuse. There we go, he's going to get it done. I think they were just waiting for Groovy to get that second, or indeed that is the case. He will recover that one. And, well, with the pause coming in, they can discuss if they want to buy here. They probably should go for the force buy, but when you've got such a big lead, you kind of feel like you want to save for the proper full buy, because you know you have a lot of chances. You want to make sure you can sort of run any set strats you have set up. But nonetheless, Big realize they have a bit too much money. They just kind of have to force in this position. They can't really afford to not go for the buy here, considering there is a chance that they could sort of stem back that AGO economy. So they do decide to buy up. Having said that, AGO's money is actually a little bit better than I expected. They've managed to win quite a few convincing rounds, so that shouldn't be a massive issue for them.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Furlan actually yet to invest, so after he buys up, perhaps it will be a little bit lower. But you see the rest of the players after the full buy, just about 5,000 onto 2. 4,900 on Groovy and 3,850 for Tau. So they have a bit left over. If they lose a round, that likely will still be able to get a buyout. Big now need to start getting some rounds for themselves as AGO are beginning to lock this down on the CT side, looking much stronger, being able to pick up the last 4 rounds, I believe, in a row. Yeah, it is indeed. But Big, they get a buyout, as you mentioned. They're able to get their rifles mostly. UMP for a looker, not able to get the op this time, as also in terms of utility, they slightly are lacking.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why Lucker went down to the UMP, just to make sure they do have at least some nades to play with. We did see Big in one of the earlier rounds, I think, try and line up a fair few smokes out towards B. So clearly they do have some sort of set plays lined up, even with a couple of stand-ins. So that's good to see. However, the sort of timings and the intricacies of the takes, I don't think will be on point. Either way, here we go. Into round 20, the AK's in play. Snatchy does have that second AWP out towards A long. Such an easy opening there. The flash is not utilized. And that allows Snatchy to hit a fairly easy shot. And they're just peeking him one by one. Snatchy takes them all down. And that pretty much wins the round alone. Grubby also going to chime in with a kill. And that did not work out for Big.
Not at all, just one by one they went right there. The first player peeked without a flash. They threw a flash for the second, but he peeked before it actually popped, so it didn't work out. And then afterwards, just trying to find the thread, was desperate to finally thread that back, and it just did not work out. So next, going to be the last man standing. 1 on 5, he is down towards middle currently, but does not have control of the bomb. Right now, he's going to at least be able to find one. Groovy pushes out through the door, gives a small chance at least for Next to try and get something done in this round, but still with 4 players to find, and 50 seconds to be able to actually go up and retrieve that bomb, where all the CTs are just going to be posted up. Looking very unlikely. He has been having a great performance, as mentioned before, but it may just be too tall of a task to actually ask of him. As finally, he will get moving on. Making his way through long, a couple kills perhaps to try and damage the economy of AGO. If he can drop some of these ops, perhaps that would be decent. But he's yet to actually connect the shots onto Snatchy. Only a small bit of damage found, and now PHR almost gets caught off guard himself, and he should be able to close this one down as he gets the headshot now, and AGO getting up to 8.
Yeah, at this rate, maybe they're going to have to rename themselves to Small. I feel like so many casters have made that joke. It's pretty awful. You know, I like making awful jokes like that because one time some guy in chat called me, you know that haha meme in Twitch chat? Someone called me, because my name is Hawker, they called me Hawk haha, like that. And I thought that was pretty good. So I like making cringe jokes now to try and get people going. I feel like I need to embrace the Hawk haha. There goes Furlan first. Only pistols, so should be pretty easy for Ago. It didn't comes in, but Furlan gets a triple kill. Very nice transfer there to react to the player up close. There we go. Ago close it out.
Yeah, and up to 9 now for AGO. This is looking a bit awkward for Big. That one was an eco, of course, so now with the buy coming back out, this is their chance to try and get up to a 13th, but they haven't been yet able to actually take themselves around on the T side so far. And AGO building up a very strong bank. Multiple players, 2 players rather, over 10,000. It's actually just sitting under 12,000 as they do continue on with a very solid buy. But Big finally be able to get everything they want. They get the op onto Looker, they get the rifles, and they also get an abundance of utility, I guess is the best way to put it. Only really Looker is lacking as he goes for the op. And look at this, the damage going to be done. PHR spraying through. Brings Next down to 34. AGO early on take themselves a nice HP advantage, as a minute and 30 seconds remain. So let's see what Big are going to try and do now to get something done in this round. They will be trying to look for maybe some opening picks. They are right now focusing 3 players over towards long, and that's a nice Molotov going down. Aiken, luckily enough, has a smoke to drop that and allow for him to stay alive for the moment. But Looker, the up may peek directly into Snatchy, but he hits the shot. The flip comes in. And finally, Big finding something to work with.
Could this be Big's first round on the T side? Lucker gets the entry. The Big still have a minute left to play with, so they are not pressed for time. You can already see on the Big side of things, though, they've used a fair amount of their utility early on, so that could come back to cost them in the late round. Having said that, Ago have also used pretty much all of their nades. So with 43 seconds left, it's mainly going to be down to the gunplay. Bacon is going to try and make something happen. Oh, what? There was a team kill there. Either way, it's back to a 3v3. I have no clue how Lucker took down his teammates. That was out towards Platt, I think. I think it was Aiken trying to go in first. Either way, PHR is going to rotate back towards A because Nex is already towards the site. And Nex is going to hear this. He's going to spot the shadow. Nex slowly peeking, gets that headshot with ease. And Big, despite the team kill, look to recover as the bomb doesn't cross
Oh my
towards A.
God.
Tao drops it. There's only 6
That's it.
seconds. Can they get it down? No, they cannot. What a shot from Tao through the door. He wins the round and
Was that after
follows it
time?
up by taking Lucka down after time. Indeed. Oh, Nex also goes low. That's a huge round for Ago.
They just went back to the A bomb site. They had, I believe, mid 20 seconds maybe. They were out on B platform and they started running back and just cutting it too close. Even with the Molotov down, Tao was able to get the sight line over towards the cross, hits the flick through the door and just drops the bomb. No chance at all for Big to get anything done. You can see because of that the pause will come in. And AGO now really beginning to close this gap, picking up 7 rounds in a row. And Big, if they buy into this one, they are definitely going to be lacking, and it seems like they may do so. Next saves himself the AK. The fact that they have enough to pick up 3 more AKs, and with Looker having no economy at all, I'd say to buy, it is looking quite likely.
Yeah, even though Lucka is living that student life with $0 in the bank, the rest of the team, it has got the money for the AKs. Someone should be a nice guy. Surely someone should drop something for Lucka. Oh, well, no, I guess not. Lucka's stuck with a Glock. I guess he can just wait for one of his teammates to die and try and pick up the AK. That's what he's going to have to do at this point. Either way, Big don't have much utility, but it looks like quite a few of their players are looking over towards B. So they might try and think about the fast-paced B play, but I feel like Ago have been using quite a lot of their nades towards Plat early. I don't really see them being able to run through B Plat early into the round, but let's see what Big have in mind here.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be a fast-paced round over towards B. Didn't really work out in the previous round when they tried to get out platform, and Tao goes for an aggressive peek, is going to receive quite a decent amount of damage. So Big been able to get a nice amount of damage there on the tower early on, getting themselves a bit of an advantage to work with, but then again, having very little utility, it is going to be difficult. Ruby takes down one, dinks his teammate in the process, but it should not matter. Still, the kills going in favour of AGO. 2 are going to be returned, but Ruby finding Aiken just pushing up through that smoke should allow now for the round to go in favour of AGO, unless Gobby's able to pull off another miraculous clutch, and I don't know how likely that's looking, as right now he will be just creeping up around the block. He's going to be spotted up by PHR and taken down, as AGO decreased that difference to only 1 round now.
Yeah, and if you have just joined us, you may be thinking, hey, this looks like a close game. This might have been very competitive from the start. Well, you would be wrong. Big won the first half 12-3, and yet Ago have had a flawless CT side up until this point to bring us back to a 12-11 scoreline. And they'll be looking to continue that here because they're only up against CZs. The smoke does go off, and Snatchy gets the first, but he will be overwhelmed. So there's a little bit of a hope for Big. They get themselves the AWP early on, but Grubby just straight up bodies Aiken out of the round, and the AWP is also dropped. Oh, Grubby tried to pick it up, but he went out into the open, so he goes down. Having said that, look at Tabson's position. He's in towards heaven here. Sorry, in towards vent room now. He still might get the flank going, though. Tabson pulls the trigger, gets the first kill. Still 2 more to find, though, and Furlan is going to come in for the flank. Ago have pulled it back to a 12-12 scoreline now.
Yeah, just such a solid CT side so far by AGO. Big just having no luck. They haven't been able to... I think the best looking round they had was where they were able to claim that 1-man advantage early on. Then Looker got a team kill. Then they went back towards A and wallbanged the 9th plant. So it hasn't been really looking so good for the German side. As right now, it's important for them to start picking up some rounds. If they lose this one and don't get a plant, AGO are going to be able to get themselves the lead and likely take that up to 14. So with Big going early on aggressive over towards B, looks like we will see a fast split. Ruby though, looking to try and shut this down even faster as he gets the first drop. Tabson is going to be able to also take down Nex, and it's not looking good at all for Big once again. It's just going to be all the kills going in favour of AGO. Gobby gets one as he spams through the smoke, but still on a 2-on-4. Looking unlikely for Big to be able to actually claim this round unless some heroic plays are pulled off. And as you can see, Snatchy with that up, he's going to go ahead and deny it, as will PHR. And AGO able to claim themselves the lead.
I mean, yeah, yeah, this has just been insane. I don't know what to say. They've won, what, 10 rounds in a row at least? Yeah, 10 rounds in a row on this CT side. And Big have to take another timeout because they must be a little rocked at this point. They also have a decision to make in terms of their buy. I mean, oof, at this point, you might just want to go for the pistol armor in this round and go for some nades because you haven't really been winning the rounds even when you have had the full buy. Either way, Big think that they can get it done with the AKs right now. So if they lose this round, without a bomb plant especially, they could be in a whole world of trouble. And the issue for Big is that Ago have so much money built up that their money shouldn't really be an issue for the rest of the game. It's just mainly Big who could be forced back to Ecos. And at this point, that's something they could not afford.
Yeah, and buying into this round now, if they lose this, likely AGO just going to run away with it. Big, able to get themselves at least 4 AKs and a UMP out. As you mentioned, AGO, they're not worried about economy by any means, so even if Big take this one, still going to be a long road ahead, still going to be a couple back-to-back gun rounds that they have to try and take, so AGO just in such an amazing position right now, looking like they may be able to move on towards the semi-finals, but it's not over yet. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, as they say, and I haven't sang yet, so it's not going to be gone in favour of either team quite yet, but Tau, he's able to open that one up on towards Aiken. Takes him down, and it's going to once again put that advantage in favour of AGO, as Big on the back foot as always on this T side. No success so far to be found, and right now it looks like they will be just trying to get themselves the map control. 2 players over towards 8, 2 players in the B halls. As a minute and 10 seconds does remain for them to try and work something in this round.
Ooh, Snatchy could be in trouble. This is a close range fight. Oh, the damage is done. Snatchy's so low on health, and the Orc doesn't get the chance to find anything. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. Tau with his Orc did get the first kill, but Snatchy doesn't find similar success. And again, Big taking the round quite slowly, running down the clock, but with 42 seconds left, they have control of drop. Smoke comes in, but Tabson runs straight over Furlan, and yet still turns around for the headshot. In the meantime, though, Grubby is in position, but only gets the 1 frag. And now it's all up to PHR. He is on the site. Godby, though, is coming in. I'm not sure if PHR will expect this. Does get only 1 kill, but the bomb is dropped in towards heaven. 19 seconds left. Tau, up close, does get finished off. And Nex only had a few bullets left in his AK, but he finds the rapid-fire headshot to give Big their first T-side round.
Yeah, finally Big able to take one. A good performance into that one there by Big, able to finally win out some of the aim duels for themselves, and it seems like we are actually going to have a pause called by AGO. I'm not sure whether it's tactical or technical. I don't really see any ping issues, so maybe tactical. Even only losing 1 round on this side, they do want to just make sure that they're able to close this one out, make sure that they're able to come back into it now with this bye once again. As playing this safe, I agree with this pause, even though it's 13 to 13, not really needed, but it definitely is going to help them.
Yeah, they will get a bit of time to just arm things down, make sure that they don't lose this upcoming round. And to be fair, I mean, I was saying earlier that Ago's economy was quite strong. Well, clearly it's not as strong as I thought, because the 1-round loss now puts them in slightly questionable shape if they were to lose this one. So 13-13, everything to play for in these last few rounds. And you can see neither side necessarily has a massive amount of cash built up. So this round 27 could be a crucial one. And wow, there are actually a slight weakness. Well, there is a slight weakness in the big buy. Tabson is forced down to a CZ. But in the meantime, look at Big go straight out towards B flat. Tau is here with the AWP. He takes some damage. However, he's in a strong position. In comes the first kill. In the meantime, the rest of Big not fully committing to the push here. Kind of stuck now between the site, and not committing to the push means that Furlan's going to get 2 kills. It's only Godby left. That looked very dodgy from Big there. I'm not sure if the players knew if they were trying to fully commit to the B rush or not, and they just kind of got caught in the middle.
Yeah, and it seems like they, after losing that opening kill, got a bit afraid and they just kind of held back. Godby, nice Molotov goes down the first tower into the open. You will actually be able to escape on that one thanks to a pop flash coming in to allow for Godby to be blinded up and forced to kind of stop holding that angle for a moment. So now Godby 1 on 3. Low HP on the tail gives him perhaps a bit of a chance to try and clutch this one out, but it's not looking so likely. Does have 50 seconds and does have the time now to try and reposition himself, try and get an element of surprise. Snatchy with the up close. Will be able to find this one as he will with the flick. 14 rounds now for AGO, and the economy of Big, it will be reset.
What do you do now if you are Big? Do you concede the 15th round over to Ago? I think at this point they probably have to. The force buy would just be so lackluster. Indeed, they decide to just go for a couple of upgraded pistols. So Big are willing to play for overtime, assuming they don't get an absolute miracle of a round win here with only a few pistols invested. Having said that, they're coming towards A. And PHR is currently in towards danger. If he gets caught, that could be a rifle recovered, but he spots defeat. PHR only gets the 1 kill on the spray, but the nade comes in. Gob takes some more damage. The CZ comes out, and PHR gets a double. Good thing he had the CZ in reserve there, because otherwise he could have been overwhelmed. But it works out for Ago. Map and series point for them.
Yeah, reminder, at the halftime it was 12-3 in favor of Big, and AGO just having an amazing performance so far over on the CT side. 12-1 currently in terms of the scoreline, and Big, they need to pick up these final two if they want to force it to overtime. As a joke at the start of this map, I said I expect 12 overtimes. We may be able to see at least one or so if Big are able to successfully pull off this comeback, but right now AGO having all the momentum in their favour, and now he's going to be showing confidence as he looks for the opening kill. Won't be able to find it due to the smoke going down, but for now, it is going to be still a 5-on-5. Lots of time left for Big to work with. They aren't in a rush. It looks like they will be favouring over towards the A-bomb site as they look to try and get this map control for themselves to work with. And they should be able to get out towards mid. PHR spots out at least one. Sees now that 3 are in this position, and he finds one. Gets a bit of damage also on the boat next, and Gobby bringing both down to 76. And now with the terrorists coming onto the A-bomb site, let's see what they're going to be able to find in this one. Looker and Next actually able to find one each with the UMP. PHR gets himself a second. And now in a 3-on-3, it's looking doable for Big. Looking much better than it was just a couple of moments ago. The bomb yet to actually make its way over towards the site, and Looker actually gets taken down by Snatchy. As once again AGO able to reclaim that man advantage, and now Nex and Gobby left to try and clutch this one out. Bomb does get planted, slowly beginning to tick away, and there is defuse kits available onto all these AGO players, so it's not too big of a deal. But Gobby needs to find this frag. It is going to be extremely crucial. Needs to take down PHR in this position. As right now, looks like the CTs, they are just preparing to try and move in together. We see finally it is going to be Forlan wrapping around towards middle, but PHR, he goes for the move on his own. He's going to go straight into the crosshair of Gobby, get taken down. And now in a 2-on-2, this is looking once again really doable for Big, and especially with Gobby stepping it up to find the second headshot. Now it's all on the Snatchy to try and clutch it out, and Gobby, he steps it up massively. 3 quick headshots to close that one out. Now it's 1 round in the difference.
It almost seems like Gob in those really critical rounds fairly often does hold his nerve and gets those all-important frags. And so now, as you just said, it all comes down to this. Round number 30, we have gone the distance. Having said that, Ago still have a very strong buy. 2 AWPs in play. Furlan's only falls down to an UMP, which is certainly still playable. And then on the big side of things, 4 AKs, 1 Deeg for Aiken. Certainly not a bad buy on either side. And that's exactly what you want to see into what is the most important round of this series so far. And remember, a spot at IEM Katowice is up for grabs in this qualifier. So both teams will absolutely be playing their all in this round. They already have been in this series. And yeah, there's only one question left. Will it be overtime, or will Aego get their spot in the semis?
I guess we should be finding out soon, or at least finding out whether AGO will take it or whether we'll be continuing on with the action. As right now, it is going to be a pretty decent buy for both sides. We see on the T side it's Aiken that's lacking a weapon. I don't believe there's one on the floor. And over on the CT side, a double up setup before them relegated to the UMP rather than the rifle. So overall, it is a pretty solid play for both sides. And actually, Aiken, he is going to get himself an AK. There was one on the ground. I wasn't sure maybe if they'd lost too many players to get the 5 rifles out. Apparently not, as it is going to be a very solid buy for them overall. But now, AGO, will they be able to close this one out? That is the question, as early on, Big just going for a default, it seems. Just splitting up around the map once again, going for this default split and pick style. And early on, it's not really going to work out in their favour. Aiken, rather, gets taken down by Tau. Not going to be going out victorious. He's brought down to 12 HP. He takes the opening kill, and will be able to just fall back off. There's no Big on the back foot. Let's see what they try to do to bring this back in their favour. And it looks like it will be just trying to get some control over towards middle. I like that pop flash actually coming in by Gobby. It allows Looker to push out towards the ramp. As right now, 4-on-5 still, but Big, they're so split up currently. The bomb all the way over towards B halls. They want to go towards this A-bomb site. They will. It looks like they will rather, and they're going to begin to rotate back. But already 3 players in a decent position for AGO to try and hold this down.
Yeah, there we go. The trades go in favor of Aego. It's only Nex and Tabson left to keep Big's dreams alive. A 2v4 to overcome, and Grubby is already rotating over. That is 3 players stacked towards A. Nex is going to try and make his way forwards. PHR still on the site. They're just playing this patiently. Aego just baiting them in, and then they can peek together to try and take these players down, and indeed they will. Aego managed to close out the comeback, make their way through. Let's go back to the desk to see how they pulled that one off.
Welcome back to Farmskins analyst desk, and this game reminded me actually of one of the games from Major, and that was the game between Mouse Sports and QB Fire. 12-3 on T side, actually on City side for Big, then only 2 full gun rounds on T side, and T side on Cobble should be easier side.
Yeah.
Looking at the statistics.
Statistics.
Yeah, I mean, really incredible comeback by Ego, but on the other hand, Big, I don't know what happened with them. I mean, they had